Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Oh, my God. It was look, it was a fun drive in. I was, reevaluating my life on my way in today. Did some soul searching. What I found out is I'm a human that can't sleep.
It was a very busy day yesterday.
You're like a night owl.
Yeah, busy day, but
yesterday.
my body doesn't operate on like 6-7 hours of sleep. It doesn't work like that. It's usually 4, and you deal with life after that.
Yeah, it's weird. You were up. You sent that 1 a.m. Jeremy Grant tweet, and yesterday you felt great. And this morning, you're like a little more. It's weird how that works.
Well, that's because 1 a.m. is the best time to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
my body
1,
does
2,
not
3
react well
a.m.
to sleep. I don't know why, even though that
Best
goes
time to be
against all of
alive.
science. But what do I know?
You might define science out of it.
Well, I want to define top rookies right now on Detroit sports teams, all right? And I want to know, where do you rank your top 5 rookies right now across the board for all Detroit sports teams? Obviously, the Red Wings, Tigers, Pistons, Lions. Hell, you can use the Michigan Panthers if you want. But if Shea Patterson's in your top 5, I swear I'll kill you.
No,
Go ahead.
absolutely not. I use this list as my top 5 favorite rookies to watch. And not only that, you could rank them, but you got so many great rookies in Detroit. I thought I'd rank the 5 I enjoy watching the most. And at 5, I have Penei Sewell. And that guy, we talk about him all the time in terms of impact. Who is the Lions MVP? And Penei was a big part of the reason why the Lions had the success they had. When they brought Taylor Decker back, Penei was able to move from left over to right, had just as, if not a better season at right tackle. So the guy's been a big reason why the Lions were able to do what they do, especially on the ground with the guys, Craig Reynolds, DeAndre Swift, those guys. So give me Penei Sewell as my 5th rookie. I enjoyed watching this so much so far. So
number 5, Penei Sewell, huh? Mm-hmm. Number 5 for me, Lucas Raymond.
Okay.
I love the kid, but he's going to be number 5. This is an interesting list. I'm going to run through mine.
Okay.
Because I don't think it'll do justice if we just go back and forth. So I'm going to have Lucas Raymond at 5.
Okay.
Penei Sewell at 4. Mo Sider at no. Oh God.
It's tough. And we only have 5, so
this sucks.
Some guys are
Why 5?
Makes it more interesting.
Whose idea was this? Yours?
It might have been.
It's a stupid idea. 5. God dang it. Man, Lucas Raymond. God, I hate you, Jeff. What's your list?
Here, let's go off mine.
I can't pick between the 3 from 1 to 3. They're too good.
No, it's hard. This is how I divided it up. I had Penei Sewell at 5, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 4, then I had Lucas Raymond at 3, Mo Sider at 2, then Cade Cunningham at 1. Those are in order my favorite to watch this season for the Detroit any sports teams. So I had two Red Wings players, 2 Lions players, and a Piston. Left off some Detroit Tigers players, but that's the sad
I'm
part.
going to stick with mine then. I'm going to stick with number 5, Raymond. Love the kid. Mm-hmm. Number 4, Penei Sewell. 3, Amon-Ra St. Brown. Cade Cunningham, number 2, Mo Sider 1.
And I'm not mad at you at all. That was the struggle I had. Mo Sider, Cade Cunningham.
Mo Sider,
you can't go wrong with either one.
Like, we need to stop talking about this kid as if he's a rookie. I know he is, but
don't act like
he
it.
skates like a 10-year vet. He hits like he's in his prime, and he's not even there yet. Mm-hmm. He's an absolute unit, and he's the best rookie outside of what? I would say Raymond, Zegras, and who's the kid from Toronto? Matthew Bunting.
But still, 2 out of the 4.
Well, that's an amazing story, by the way, but I don't want to cry right now, so we're not going to get into that.
It's too early to cry.
Good morning, Maddie.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm great. We're going over top 5 rookies we like to watch. I want to know your personal 5. Mine was Penei Sewell, Lucas Raymond, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Cade Cunningham, and then Mo Sider. Jeff?
I had Penei Sewell at 5, Amon-Ra St. Brown at 4, Lucas Raymond at 3, Mo Sider at 2, then Cade Cunningham. But that's just it's whatever you like.
It's subjective.
Okay.
I don't really care about their order.
Sure.
But.
So I'd have Penei Sewell at 5, Amon at 4, Cade at 3.
Wow.
Only because
Who's
hockey's
a
my
hockey
favorite
girl?
sport.
Yeah, that's
I know, right? Like,
And that's okay.
I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'm all for it.
well, and because it's the only team I honestly enjoy watching right now. So
That's a fair point.
And then I'd have Raymond at 2 and Cider at 1.
I
See,
love
Cider
that.
at 1.
I love
and
that list.
It makes sense. Cider or
I
Cade,
love it.
Those two guys, big reasons why we're so intrigued in these guys. So, no problem. I want to see the guys in the chat. I saw a couple different lists. I know Tammy included Nedeljkovic on
Speaking
hers.
Yeah, Nedeljkovic,
about
definitely
a
an honorable mention.
Yeah.
Probably at 6 or 7, but
Yeah.
As
You
a
know,
goalie, it's tough, though.
it's tough to get love, because as a goalie, you just got to be winning all the time,
Yeah.
shutouts, the sexy
Everything's
stats.
either your fault or not.
Or it's not, yeah. And then you give up, we don't have to talk about
That was
it.
the storyline in that Toronto game. He got
That
pulled,
was a
and
disaster
then he came
game
back.
defensively and goaltending. I
I
mean, that
know.
was awful. But I want to kind of shift gears a little bit from take these rookies now and who's the most entertaining, right? Mm-hmm. So we ranked them in terms of, our personal ranks, but who do you can't turn off the TV? When they're on TV, you got to watch the game. Now, is that Cade? I think Cade probably easier because it's
Yeah.
basketball, right? And it's so individual oriented.
I might even lean a little towards Mo, just because of what he does in totality. I mean, Lucas Raymond, another one, fantastic goal scorer, obviously, but Mo Cider, just because of, like you said, how the maturity he has already, the physicality he plays with, and just the grit he plays with. Probably my favorite to watch personally, but that could vary among everybody. What would be yours?
I would say the most exciting player of the 5 right now to watch, and if I was to include the Lions season, I think it has to be Cade Cunningham. I mean, he has the ball in his hands a majority of the time, and the only reason why I wouldn't answer that way is because of my clear hate for Jeremy Grant. Because
Taking the ball out of his hands.
when I watch the Pistons, I know I'm watching Cade and I'm having fun, and I'm watching Sadiq Bey and I'm having fun, and Killian Hayes, and I'm having a good time. Nobody can bother me, right? And then this ugly, horrible basketball player just shows up and does a bunch of nothing and just kills my vibe. And it's Tuesday vibes. I'm trying to be really excited this morning. But we talk about this bum loser that plays for the Pistons and Jeremy Grant, and it ruins everything for me. So that's the tough part about picking Cade. When I watch the Wings, oh my God, I'm stress-free.
Yeah.
They could lose 10-0. I don't care. I'm chilling. Watching the young kids grow, even though they won't lose 10-0, obviously. But you guys get the point.
Yeah.
I mean, they're basically a 500 team
Even
right
at
now.
their worst, you're still intrigued.
I mean, they're really. I think the Red Wings are probably the most entertaining team, and then it would go Pistons, Lions, and Tigers because we don't even know if there's going to be baseball because the MLB just is
Hey,
stupid.
they had a 15-hour meeting yesterday. They're going hard at it.
What took 4 months? Huh?
Yeah, that's the question.
They were meeting for less than 5 minutes for the last 4 months, every single week, every 4 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever it was.
Time
They
flies.
can kick rocks, fish.
Time catches up.
My kids will not watch baseball growing up.
They got a 5 p.m. deadline, by the way, today to get a deal signed. So, before they start canceling games.
They can take that
So.
deadline and shove it up their ass.
Okay, good talk. Good job. Seems very nice of you on this Tuesday.
Yeah.
Look, man, you got to say the truth. All right? They did this to themselves.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
All right? The only way my kids are going to watch baseball is if they get their crap together. Because it's going to be very hard for me to convince my kid to sit down for 3.5 hours and watch a baseball game. So they better improve the product. The Tigers better be winning. And I got to work on having a kid because none of that is even important.
The worst time.
okay.
I'll work on it. Just give
Are
me.
you I don't know, maybe you're going to steal a kid off the side of the road.
I could abduct a kid.
Sounds like something you would
I could
do.
adopt one,
take
and
fish.
avoid
No, I
like
guess
legal
adopting
issues.
is the thing.
Yeah,
You don't
I
have to steal
prefer
them.
not to go to jail, but we could have the conversation about stealing somebody's kid.
Yeah.
Listen, if you have an
It's going to
annoying
be
kid,
me.
if you have an annoying kid, and you don't want to raise them anymore, call into the show, and I'll gladly take them from you.
Over the phone interview. And,
Yeah,
you know
I'll
what I mean?
interview the kid. I'll phone screen them. We'll see how annoying they are,
Phone
and if I can deal with them, then
Then you're all set.
I'll kidnap them.
I don't feel like you have a problem dealing with people. It's people having a problem dealing with you.
Oh yeah,
it's the
I have
opposite.
zero problem. I have zero problems with most people. Like 99.9%. It takes a real special person to get under my skin.
Yeah.
But people...
Do I do a good job?
Huh?
Do I do a good job?
Fish, I just said that we have a different relationship.
Oh, okay.
Right? Okay. We have a, 13, 14-month relationship? 15 months?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's different.
Okay.
Some kid, I abduct them. I have zero value for their life.
Wow.
You know?
That's nice of you.
Well, I abducted them. If I cared about them, I wouldn't have done it, Fish.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Let's go to break. When we get back, Maddie, Detroit, our finalists for the 2024 NFL Draft,
Yes.
which we all know the draft is the Super Bowl for the Lions, or at least that's the saying around here. I actually think it would be quite phenomenal for Detroit to host the draft, so I'm excited to talk about it.
And I'll tell you why.
Oh.
I'll
Okay.
tell you Jeff previewed. I was not expecting that.
Jeff is going to tell us why
I'm gonna tell you
after the
why.
break. But before we go, we do need to hear about Gypsy Vodka.
Guys, Gypsy Vodka, the smoothest tasting vodka on the market, gluten-free, Michigan's vodka, locally owned and operated up in Petoskey, Michigan. Check them out at gypsyvodka.com, guys, or ask for it by the name of Gypsy. Please do yourselves a favor and drink responsibly as well. I can't stress it enough. Gypsy Vodka, the smoothest and best tasting vodka on the market. We'll see you guys after the break.
I'm Kay Cunningham. Working with Hall Financial to purchase my first home was easier than I could have ever imagined. They treated me like family from start to finish. Find out for yourself at callhallfirst.com.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down!
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires and hits!
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shots, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans.
Got it!
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Centron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over! Anything can happen in March!
Welcome back, and thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Detroit, a finalist for the 2024 NFL Draft. Jeff, I felt like you really wanted to talk about this, so,
I'm so excited.
I'm just gonna let you
Yeah,
know.
I'm gonna Jeff should go first.
Give me the floor.
I want to
I'm
know
gonna
what
tell
he's
you
so
why.
excited about.
Let me picture everyone. This is like a therapy for all people in Detroit. Picture this scenario. You got April, all right? This time of the year. You know, they had it in Cleveland last year, so I don't want to hear anything about the weather. All right, it's possible. Imagine this scenario. You have playoff basketball in 2 years. You have playoff hockey in 2 years.
Yeah.
And you have the NFL Draft in Detroit. Tell me how electric and how many eyeballs the city of Detroit would have at that point. It makes me excited, incredibly excited. I know it's Washington, D.C., Green Bay, and Detroit are all the finalists. Personally, I think it'd be an interesting conversation to talk about where they would have the draft in Detroit. But having the actual draft in Detroit, bringing all those eyeballs, it would be great. It would be fantastic. I know the Lions talked about it a little bit, and if it is in Green Bay, if it is in Washington, screw you guys. In Detroit, it would be awesome, especially that time of the year.
Who wants to go to Washington? I don't. What the hell is there?
Yeah.
Oh, the nation's capital. Nobody cares.
No.
People stopped caring about history like a generation ago.
They got the Washington
Unfortunately.
Commanders now.
Oh my God, the Washington Commanders. Yeah, no, we're not doing this. So Washington is a hell no. And are there even hotels in Green Bay? Is there Wi-Fi in Green Bay? I'm being obviously very ignorant right now, but you get the sarcasm here.
We're hating on our neighbor. Yeah, screw him.
Why do they get to host the NFL Draft, huh?
Because they have like the best fans
We
in the
have
NFL.
just as many Super Bowl appearances as they do in the last 12, 15 years. Why?
Because they
Why?
they have one of the best fans in the NFL, one of the best fan base in the
You
NFL.
know what?
They're
I will say,
fan-owned.
though, the fact
They're
that Green
fan-owned.
Bay is owned by fans, I think is one of the most amazing things.
Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
love that. I think that's one of the coolest traditions in sports. It's not really a tradition, but you kind of get where I'm going with this. Like, the fact that fans... There's like a wait list of how many years, Fish? 3, 4, 5, 10, 15 years maybe. Who knows?
Yep.
To be a Green Bay Packers season ticket holder, which then means you're also a shareholder. It's unbelievable. But they're not getting it.
And look at Pistons fan. Does Green Bay even have the hotels and restaurants? Isn't Lambeau in a neighborhood?
That's
and
what I'm
DC
saying.
is a swamp.
Thank you.
Well, he just laid it out for
DC
us.
sucks. What are you going to go
Yeah,
to
they're
the
not going to
historical museum?
they're not
Nobody
going to
wants to go
Washington.
visit a museum except my wife. Nobody.
No football fan.
Literally nobody interested in football is going to want to go to the museum.
Yeah.
All right? Listen, do it in Detroit, downtown. All right? You got the LCA.
Mm-hmm.
You got multiple venues, multiple bars, the restaurants galore.
Yeah.
I mean, do I even have to pitch downtown Detroit? Like, it's not even close between the three. It's the more modern city. It's the city I think that's most equipped to handle an event like this. Oh, and where, we joke a lot about, the Lions' expectations, where the franchise is going, but don't fans always say that the draft is their Super Bowl?
You're right.
Imagine this is the only fan base in the NFL that takes the draft as seriously or really, hypes it up the way I don't think any other fan base does it the way the Lions do.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think it would be a spectacle. I think it'd be an event. I think it would be an extremely memorable draft night. And I'm actually curious how Detroit Lions fans would react to players being selected by opposing teams, whether it's division rivals, teams on the AFC,
Yeah.
NFC. If the Rams have a first-round pick in 2024, who knows? I think it's super interesting. I really do. I definitely want it to come to Detroit, though.
And that's why the biggest question I have is with Rod Wood talking about, and this is back in 2017 when they first brought up the draft to him. He said it could be spread out to 3 or 4 different locations in Detroit. Being centrally located among the Lynx teams was an advantage as a location. I wonder where they'd have the draft at in Detroit. I think there's tons of locations you could. I know Ford Field, they had clearly biggest venue down there, but you can have it in so many places. And they have the positives about Detroit is you hit on it, and Pistons fan hit on it already, is the things you can do down here. And the media, players, everybody coming down to Detroit, wherever it is, from neighboring cities. You can do things. You have playoff hockey, playoff basketball going on. The city's electric. And not only that, the city of Detroit will be able to, up close, witness who they select in the draft. And I would love to hear the reaction. Whether it's, it would be, I'm assuming all cheers. Brett Holmes would be in charge, but no, it'd be great. It would be absolutely great. I think you've mentioned it already. The Lions fans, we value enough the draft. Why not have it in Detroit? I mean, you talk about it being our Super Bowl. Imagine having that type of scenario in Detroit for everybody to come and see. I think it'd be electric, man. So that's why I'm excited, just because of all the possibilities you have with the NBA. You have playoff basketball, man. It'd be a lot of people would be down there.
What do Washington fans? What have they done, huh?
Well.
What have they suffered through, huh? Tell me, huh? Oh, their quarterback broke their leg in 85? Oh no. What have they dealt with, huh? They haven't dealt with the 58 years that this fan base has dealt with. All right? There's no fan base more deserving of an event than the Detroit Lions fan base. I swear, I mean it. I'm not being sarcastic at all here. Look, Green Bay, you've been to 2 NFC title games in the last 3 years. You've owned the division for the last 30 years. Yeah. You went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers, kick rocks. What? No, they can get it in 2030. Just not before Detroit. All right? Let Detroit get it. And then you can do whatever the hell you want. I don't care. Hell, I'll go to Green Bay for the draft. Just let Detroit get it first, please.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. The party that would ensue. Imagine the Lions had a top draft pick that year.
None of us are going to work the next day.
No, we're going to work.
Yeah, it would be all Woodward Sports down there.
It would be phenomenal. Imagine the Lions had, let's say, a top. I don't want them to have a top 5 pick by 2024.
Right.
Means we're still rebuilding.
Well, yeah, actually,
God
that's
damn
a good
it.
point. Yeah, well.
So I hope you know what? I take back everything I just said.
But when that pick comes up,
it's going to be electric either way.
Yeah.
Whether you're picking at 5, 15, 20, 30. I doubt 30, but
you
one
can have dreams. 32.
Everybody can dream eventually, right? Yeah. I'm not going to hate it.
That's where it starts, is dreaming.
Well,
we also have to take, ownership into consideration, all right? Listen, we've dealt with the Fords for 58 years, all right? We've dealt with Sheila now for, 2.5 years? This is really her, first real year considering these are her hires, right? So, you know what? Lions are off to a good start. You feel like they're going in the right direction. I have no problem with that. But what? Look at the Washington owner, huh? FedEx Field. Mr. I do some really weird stuff with my employees.
Yeah.
And I harass them sexually. Wow. Great example you're setting in the NFL, huh?
And he still deserves it.
Why the hell? Why is Washington being considered? Nobody cares about Washington. I'm sorry, just saying in the chat. I know you're from D.C., but I have a very ignorant view on Washington. And it's probably because my sister. But that's her fault, not mine. I take zero responsibility for any of it. And then Green Bay, what are we going to do in Green Bay? Huh? What, are we all going to stand on wooden planks? What are they going to have in Green Bay for us, huh? Do they even have enough room to host that 10,000,
You
15,000
do realize
people?
if they get the draft, they're going to have a 2-year notice, so they're going to rebuild the city of Green Bay. They're going to make it like their Super Bowl. Because let's be honest, they're not going to host a Super Bowl in the middle of the frozen iceberg.
Why? I really don't know why Green Bay is a finalist.
Because they have the best fans in the league. They're
Do they?
well respected by
why are they the
many
best fans in the league?
people.
Huh?
Why are you looking at me like I'm crazy? That's a known fact. They have one of the best fans in the league. Am I wrong?
No, you're probably
I feel
right.
like every
Lambeau Field
fan base is pretty
is a
decent.
great advantage.
They have one of the best fans in the league. They're a well-respected team. They've
If their
made it
fans
to
are so
playoffs.
good, why do they suck in the playoffs at Lambeau, huh?
I can't tell you that. I just
No,
know they've
I'm
made it to
just
the
saying.
playoffs.
We're talking about the best fan base. It's probably New England, if you ask me. Even though they're, I think, the most spoiled fan base.
Yeah, but New
yeah.
England fans, they turn on their team every time
No,
they
they
suck.
don't.
Oh,
Please, Fish.
What do you think? Our guy Mike in the chat said Detroit doesn't have the capacity downtown. That's the bottom line. DC has plenty of room for everybody.
DC
I
does
think
have a lot of
Detroit
hotels.
I know they have more hotels, of course.
Yeah, and DC is landlocked between Virginia and Maryland. So there you go. So you can actually travel between two different states.
They were the Washington football team, and now the Commanders. They are one of, if not the most pointless franchises in the NFL right now. All right?
Okay.
Their owner is going through a bunch of scandalous issues right now.
Yep.
They should not be in consideration. It should be the Detroit.
You realize they're not
City of
basing it
Detroit.
on the football team. They're basing it on the city.
I don't give a crap. No,
Green-
it has
Green
everything
Bay
to do with the
has-
football team, Fish.
Then why are they going to Detroit?
Have you been listening to me for the last 10
I
minutes?
haven't been listening for the last 10 minutes.
All right, let me run it back.
Has our team made
let me run it
playoffs
back
in the
because
last
you
year?
don't
Has our
listen.
team made the Super Bowl anytime
Fish.
soon?
There's no fan base that treats the NFL draft like a Super Bowl like the Detroit Lions. That's a
correct.
fact.
That is a
All
fact.
right?
Yes, sir.
So that is reason number one. Reason number two, it's actually of the other two cities, the most, I would argue, ready city to host an event of 20, 30,000 people. Let's say, if it was that many people. All right? You have the bars downtown, the restaurants, you have the hotels, you have all the availability, capacity downtown to make it work.
They'd be booming.
Business would be booming, as AB would say. Mm-hmm. All right? Detroit's the city, man. It's got to be Detroit.
Absolutely.
It's got to be Detroit. I don't know who else it could be. Green Bay? What are we going to do in Green Bay, huh? In March, April.
All right, well, don't cry to me when Green Bay gets selected.
Look, man, I'm not on board with the Green Bay getting it. Look, they already own their team. All right? That's already enough of a gift. Okay? They own their football team.
They got houses right outside the stadium. They live right next door.
They literally live in front of the stadium. All right? They've went from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers and have celebrated 2 Super Bowls during that time span. Why the hell does Green Bay get it? They can kiss my ass. They can take their success and shove it up their ass. Detroit deserves this because we've dealt with misery and mediocrity for 58 years, Fish. That's why. That was in the pitch. It wasn't about the city. It was like, look at our ownership. Give us something.
I didn't even think about the casinos too. A lot of casinos down there. Everyone
2 casinos downtown, right?
Yep.
Or 3?
Check out the Motor
I
City.
think it's 3.
I
Motor
don't
City.
At least
honestly
2.
know.
Motor City, Greektown,
That's only 2.
What's the third?
and MGM.
Oh, you're
So you
right.
got 3 casinos.
I
mean,
forget about MGM.
I knew it. Well, I'm a degenerate, so.
Yeah, well, so am I, but just different kind.
People would be coming downtown. It'd be great. I'm not really on board. I know Mike's talking about the capacity and all that stuff. I really don't hope capacity is the reason why we're going to try and argue Detroit out of the draft. I mean, I get Indianapolis has more of a, exclusive downtown. They have more things, but still, like, it's Detroit.
I think in Indianapolis it would be phenomenal, and the Combine's already there, but...
But
Look,
still.
between DC and Lambeau, I gave you my reasons why I prefer it in Detroit. For obvious reasons, I'm obviously biased in this conversation, so I don't even think what I say even matters. But come on.
Yeah, they did it in Cleveland, and he said, "Oh, downtown Cleveland has the hotel capacity. If they could do it in Cleveland, they could do it here."
If a state,
Please,
that can't even spell out their own state.
Oh,
if a population of people that can't even spell their own state can figure out how to host an NFL draft, Detroit can figure it out. I promise you.
Hosted the draft, the All-Star game for baseball and basketball this year.
Get it. If Cleveland could do it, Detroit can do it. Maybe that's me
Cleveland's
jealous.
known for blowing 3-1 leads in the World Series. They can't talk.
Okay, they did it once.
That's what they're known
Golden
for.
State did it to Cleveland in NBA 2016.
No, it doesn't go. We'll look past that.
It's a scandal.
This is
cheating scandal. Suspending a power forward in the NBA Finals. First time
The Cubs
in 30,
and
40
Indians
years.
had that rain delay that helped the Cubs out.
He barely kicked him.
That rain delay helped the Cubs
Somebody
out.
kicked me in the nuts, I would take it like a man.
You just feel
Instead
like
of sitting there crying, oh, he kicked me. We're down 3-1. Oh, my God. LeBron James. Another bitch from Cleveland. All right, we got to go to break.
Hey, let them win the championship. What did Detroit have? They didn't have a championship since
Fish,
then.
we have more championships than Cleveland
Okay.
in basketball.
Okay.
Cleveland can kiss my ass.
Not to mention the Pistons. Just
They had
beat them.
LeBron James. You know how many titles
say-
they got? 1. We had the go-to-work
he has
Pistons, got 1.
He has one with Cleveland.
We had the bad boy Pistons, we got 2, should have been 3.
Yeah.
Cleveland can kiss my ass.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, Maddie, we got to go to break. When we get back, the Detroit Lions are taking Malik Willis at number 2, apparently. And I have a lot to say about that.
I'm
to be
seeing
honest
these
with
mock
you.
drafts, man. It's scaring the absolute crap out of me. Can't wait to get into it.
All right, well, we'll get to that when we come back. But first, we need to hear about MyBookie.
All right, guys, MyBookie, the premier sports betting outlet for you and your friends. Check it out at mybookie.com. Bet from anywhere, anytime using MyBookie. And sign up today if you haven't already using code Woodward. They'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar, which means you put in $100, they'll match you with $100. You put in $200, they'll match you with $200. Guys, get ready. March Madness is, 2 weeks away? Not even.
That's coming.
There's no better time to be betting outside of the NFL season than right now. Sign up today. Take advantage of their promo code offer. And yes, as always, please, if you suck at gambling or have a gambling problem,
Like me,
call 1-800-270-7117.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Everybody, yeah, everybody, yeah. Take it up to the top, may the party never stop. Make it loud, make it real, let them know that we're here with everybody. Yeah, everybody.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, if the Lions take Malik Willis at number 2, what are you going to do?
I fist myself. You already know. I'm sure you looked in the comment section. I mean, look. You know what? I love mock drafts. Don't get me wrong. I think it's one of the best times of the year outside of the football season. You really get to, take your chance at, who do you want? Who do they... What's going into this evaluation? And for me, the gentleman that put this out, and Troy, if you ever hear this, man, I'm going to try not to rip on you, but, if I'm doing a mock draft, and you know what, I may do one later this week for maybe the first 12, 15 picks for all the teams. And the way I believe I should do it, and this is how I expect most journalists to do it, is you look at the team's needs. You look at their salary cap situation.
Yeah.
You look at what do they need. Are they stable at quarterback? What's their future outlook? What's the current, temperature in the room with the head coach and GM?
Yep.
And I take all that into consideration. And I make a decision for that team. Now, of course, I'll do a real quick one. Number 1 overall, I need to protect my franchise quarterback. Okay, that was a big issue for Trevor Lawrence last year. He was one of, if not the most sacked quarterback in the NFL outside of Joe Burrow. Protect your quarterback. I don't mind Evan Neal at number 1. Number 2, I moved to the Detroit Lions. They have Jared Goff at quarterback. Now, Jared Goff is not the next coming of Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen or any of these guys, right? But you know what? He's a stable quarterback. And Ryan Tannehill got the number 1 seed last season. And Kirk Cousins has a 500 record. You can win with Jared Goff. Okay? Now, can you win a Super Bowl? Likely not. But you can get your team on the right track with this guy at quarterback, whether I like him or not. And you know what? If you think that you're going to take a quarterback at number 2 with this team, you got a whole new thing coming. Because what happens when you take a quarterback, my friends, is your GM is on the hot seat, and so is your head coach immediately. The clock starts ticking the moment they go all in on a quarterback. You need to understand that. See, what Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell have going for them is they traded away Matthew Stafford for Goff and 2 first-round picks, correct? And a third-round pick.
Yep.
Now, are you really going to beat down Brad Holmes 2 years from now if they're still losing games and Jared Goff is just awful? No, you'd be like, all right, you guys got to get your quarterback. Let's get the quarterback in the room, and then we'll see from there. Now, what does that mean for Dan Campbell? I mean, writing's on the wall. You kind of can figure it out for yourselves. But you're not taking a quarterback at 2. What you're going to do is you're going to realize that this team does not get to the opposing team's quarterback, and you're going to go edge rusher. Whether it's Thibodeau, the kid from Purdue, or Aiden Hutchinson, honestly, I don't care. The only thing that makes sense for me and today, and until I change my mind, it's got to be an edge rusher. I need somebody that can get to the quarterback. You aren't taking a wide receiver or a quarterback at number 2. So, Troy, I'm sure you work hard at what you do, man. Do a little bit more research, man. This team does not need a quarterback number 2 overall and a quarterback class that nobody's interested in. Nobody's trading up to number 2 overall to get Pickett. Nobody's trading up to get Matt Corral. Or at least not to number 2. Maybe they'll trade up to 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. But they're not trading up to number 2. They just aren't. So the Lions, yes, they will be likely selecting an edge rusher number 2 overall. I don't see it happening. Jeff, quarterback? Hell no.
No, hell no. And you hit on all the points I was going to make, so you honestly nailed it. I want to add to it by saying this, Lions fans should know this, and I'm sure journalists, whoever makes these mock drafts, you cannot make the same mistake you did with Matthew Stafford, and we've been preaching that. You got to witness it for 12 years. My advice, and one that I've been preaching these last couple months, build your roster and then get your guy. I know there's the proposal of take Malik Willis, sit him a year. I just can't get on board with that. And if there was a Joe Burrow in this draft, maybe I would have a change of heart. I'd say, you know what? Get him. Go get your guy now, and you'll figure it out. But I don't believe Malik Willis is going to be Joe Burrow. So you need to address that and build this team through the draft. I'll take a talented roster around Jared Goff as of right now. You're not going to take Malik Willis at 2 or try to reach at 32 for 1, so why get one at all? Well, wait, and now I don't know where the Lions are going to be picking next year. You can never guarantee you'll be in a position to grab a quarterback, but all I know is this draft, no. And we went through it. You need an edge rusher. That should be your first pick. The last pick in the draft. There's so many other holes on this team you need to fill, and that's why Jared Goff was brought here for stability, and he's done a good job of that so far in his first season. Had some ups and downs, but no one was healthy. So give the guy a chance at least this year. Build a roster around him, and then you can plug and play a quarterback. You can finally get your guy, whether it's in the draft, whatever it is, you'll be able to trade up if you want your quarterback. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. They should go defense, wide receiver. Those first 3 picks, I've already said it, and we made those mock drafts. You'll be seeing it every Monday. But in terms of selecting a quarterback, let alone one at 2, no, because I've said this, I don't want them to select one at 32, so why would you select one at 2 given that no quarterback in this draft is that you're going to be able to select him that high. So I'll pass on it. I say no. Build your team, then get your quarterback. Listen, nobody has to love Jared Goff, but what you can appreciate about Jared Goff is he brings you stability at that position.
Let me ask you this. Is there a quarterback in this draft class that you believe has a higher ceiling than Jared Goff?
The only one, and I'm not even sure, is Malik Willis because of the athletic ability. But still, how do I know that he'll be better than Jared Goff?
What does athletic ability mean, right?
Because his ability to extend plays. I think that'll go farther than Jared. Now, is he more accurate?
Is he a quarterback? Is he able to understand coverages?
There's different things that go into it.
I mean, look, I know he played at Liberty, all right? And if Josh Allen can come from Wyoming into the NFL, so can Malik Willis, whatever. I'm not going to completely throw him under the rug. But I don't see Malik Willis as the guy with the highest upside. Why? Because he's got a rocket arm and can move? Okay. Who are the 2 quarterbacks in the Super Bowl this year? Take a guess.
2 pocket quarterbacks.
2 pocket passers.
Yeah, Joe Burrow, Matthew
Stafford.
Stafford.
Who are the 4 quarterbacks in the AFC and NFC title game?
That would be also 4.
Outside of Mahomes, but he's a different, he's still a pocket quarterback, though.
Yes, he can sit in the pocket
but he can
and kill
move
you.
when needed, but still, you get my point, right? Guys that can throw the ball from the pocket.
Josh Allen can do that. I mean, he can run, but
yeah, Josh Allen.
He can win a game in the pocket.
Guys, the league is so simple. I swear to you.
Yeah.
Jared Goff can win you football games. He can win you 10, 11, 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
If you have the right coach, if Dan Campbell is that guy, and you hit a home run this draft and get 2, 3 players that can contribute right away, which you absolutely should. You don't tell me you can't win football games this year. You don't tell me you can't win football games by year 3. Then you're just making excuses. The truth is, this team should be winning football games. You know why? We're in year 2 now. Honeymoon period's over. It's time to win games. It's time to actually build a winning culture. Not just the Jim Caldwell culture where we're nice to everybody, kumbaya. We choke away all the big games. We don't go for it on 4th and 1. We never challenge anything. We don't know how to manage the clock. Oh, yeah, Jim Caldwell. Oh, it's okay, He's so nice to me. We lose games, but he's so nice. We lose the big games, but he's so nice. We're 0-2 in the playoffs, but he's so nice.
But culture.
It's about the who.
Unbelievable. The next person to walk up to me and tell me it's about culture. I swear to God, I'll punch him in the face.
Culture.
You got to win. And that's why it matters.
You can't have a culture without winning.
There you go. Bingo. And I think more importantly, we have to have this discussion. It matters where you go as a quarterback. It does. And if you're going to take Malik Willis at 2, you're bypassing a talented edge rusher. You're bypassing Kyle Hamilton. So Malik Willis is your number 2 pick. You're going to take, probably an edge rusher at 32. And then you're going to have the rest of the draft. So Malik Willis, if he doesn't start this season or, next season, how much better is your roster by next season? So that's my question to you. And is Malik Willis going to walk into this roster and be ready to play in 1 year? I think there's situations I'd probably like to see Malik Willis. I mean, maybe if he goes to a Pittsburgh, that type of situation. But for me to say it's the time to select a quarterback at 2, it's absurd. And I don't see how anybody can sit here and say, not even a quarterback at 2, though. I'm not talking about, let's just say 32, that you can argue we could take a quarterback at 32. Why reach even at 32 for a quarterback? When's the last time a quarterback taken that low in the draft has worked out? Paxton Lynch, he's got drafted to the USFL. He was taken in the first round. So I'm not on board with it. Take an edge rusher, take a safety, take a wide receiver, and live on. Build your team. And don't make the same mistake you made 12 years ago when you had Matthew Stafford. Please don't do it. Just please. That's all I ask.
You have an opportunity in this draft to build a defense, to complete your offense, and have a pretty solid football team that I think is going to be difficult to play against considering their ability to run the football, control the line of scrimmage, and if you get a dominant edge rusher, oh boy, your defensive line becomes a problem. How do you make up for a bad secondary? A good pass rush. Guys, it's so simple. It's really not that hard. It's really not that serious. The Lions should not be selecting a quarterback at number 2. That's just not their need right now. It really isn't. And who's in this draft class where you're head over heels in love with? Who? Malik Willis? Really? That's what you're going to hang your head on? Malik Willis at 2? How ignorant are you? Well, if they believe in their guy, they should get him. Look, I believe in that just as much as the next guy.
Yes, that's very true.
But you do understand the second that they select Malik Willis at number 2, I'm not accepting a 3-13 year and then a 6-11 year next year. That's unacceptable. You're done. You're gone. Bye-bye. It's not how it works. And you're telling me with Jared Goff starting at quarterback this year, because Malik Willis needs a year, right? You're going to send him out there instead of giving him an edge rusher, right? Wow. Boy, does that make sense. Boy, does that make sense. Well, Adam, it's a deep edge rushing class, right? So you can take a quarterback at number 2 theoretically, get an edge rusher at 32, and then take a wide receiver at 34, and you'd still, kind of have the same thing. Really? Boy, you better hit on T.J. Watt at number 30, like the Steelers did, if you want to play that move with me.
And people saying in the chat, if Malik Willis is trash, why are other teams in love with them? That's not the point. I don't think
teams are in love with him.
Well,
I think teams every year, you have to understand something, guys, all right? The evaluating a quarterback is not easy at all. Every team makes a mistake on them. They draft them every year, 3, 4, 5 go in the first round, and they just suck. Or they bust. And the second round, third rounders suck. There's a reason. It's not easy to evaluate, is a quarterback going to be successful, great? And where they go matters too.
It does.
Joe Harrington was a good quarterback. He ended up with a coach that didn't want him. What do you do? Huh? They couldn't protect David Carr in Houston. What do you do? He's a better quarterback than his brother. But they couldn't protect him. He was the most sacked quarterback in the first 3 years he was in the league.
It matters.
It matters where you go. It's not a perfect science on how to figure out how to get a quarterback. If it was, everybody would get one. But your best chances of getting a quarterback historically are in the top 10. So you're not taking a quarterback who's projected to go, second, third round right now? In the second overall. It's ridiculous. But Maddie, we got to go to break. When we get back, we got an interview. We got a guest joining us this morning, Sean Murphy, Woodward Sports, Detroit Pistons writer and contributor. I'm excited to talk about Sean and his affiliation and love for Jeremy Grant. It's something I don't agree with, and to be honest with you, somebody's got to smack him across the head.
Well, I know that you're the person to do it, so we'll visit that when we get back. But first, we need to hear about Planet Fitness.
Guys, Planet Fitness, the official studio sponsor of the Woodward Sports Network. It's a judgment-free studio, and you can be working out in a judgment-free zone. $0 down, $10 a month to get started with Planet Fitness today. Visit them at planetfitness.com. And as always, please do remember, your fitness is essential.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
If you look anything like me, Adam, or Jeff, you probably need a tan, and what better place to go than Chili Peppers Tanning? They've got 26 locations around Metro Detroit and more to come. That's where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and trained certified tanning professionals. You can join the Pepper Club for all the best deals. They beat all competitors by $5. Don't forget to pick up Australian Gold Designer Skin, Caltan, and Swedish Beauty Lotions. Chili Peppers has the hottest bobs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. Guys, make sure you head over to Chili Peppers. I'm in the Pepper Club. I just haven't gone tanning in a while.
You look like you need a tan, to be honest.
I do. I look sick.
Well, you know who needs, honestly, you know who needs like a real tan? I'm not joking. I'm being very serious right now. Our guest. This guy is whiter than a ghost.
Don't do him like that.
Good morning, Sean Murphy. How are you, buddy?
What an introduction.
Adam, that's like the pot calling the kettle black. Good morning. It's so good to see you guys. Adam, Jeff, Maddie, it's a pleasure. And Fish, I pray for you every day having to deal with Adam. I'm really glad to be here, guys. Honestly, thank you for having me. No technical difficulties could stop this from being a great morning, so let's do it.
All right, I'm excited, Sean. Thank you for looking out for Fish's well-being. I can't thank you enough for that. But I want to get started. Yeah, I know. Whatever, you losers. Anyways, speaking of losers, Jeremy Grant is probably the biggest loser in Detroit right now. I know you're a big fan of his. Can you explain to me why the hell You like Jeremy Grant. What's good about him? He sucks at the game of basketball. He's delusional. Thinks he's a 1, thinks he's a 2. He's at best a number 7 on the bench, honestly. I'm so sick and tired of talking about the guy. What the hell's up with Jeremy Grant? I think he sucks, and I don't think you can make a case for why he should be on this basketball team. He sucks. I'll say it one more time. Wait, he sucks.
Now make a case.
Listen, my case with Jeremy Grant is the same that it has been, Adam, and it is the fact that it's not that I don't think that what you're saying about Jeremy Grant is completely without base. What I'm saying is that it's a little too far. Jeremy Grant, first of all, not being a good NBA player is objectively not false. A guy that
My mom can put up the same numbers with those amount of shots.
Your mom could go out there and put up almost 20 points a game and guard 1 through 5 and have overall versatility.
Listen, you don't know my mom. You haven't met
She
my
would
mom.
also leave his dad for Jimmy G. So
That's also true.
She's versatile.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. I mean, any sane human being would. But in all seriousness, with Jeremy Grant, I mean, first of all, I think we like to pick at his games and he doesn't perform well throughout the year, quite particularly when in reality, Saddiq Bey and Cade Cunningham both have statistically similar games to Jeremy Grant quite often. Yet we don't really like to bring that up. It's only when Jeremy Grant goes out and puts up 4 for 15 that we say something about it. On top of that, if you look at a lot of the games that we had, especially over this 3 out of 4 game stretch, a lot of those clutch moments were thanks to Jeremy Grant. So it's not that I don't think that Jeremy Grant, it's not that I think Jeremy Grant's this all-star player. I'm not here to make the argument that he's elite. I'm not even here to make the argument that he fits our team long-term, because I'm not even sure if I agree with that. But what I will say is he's by no means no scrub. He's certainly not on Russell Westbrook.
He's a scrub.
level.
No. Listen, I have 2 bets at home. One reserved for Jeremy Grant, the other for Russell Westbrook. Look, Sean, let me explain why I dislike Jeremy Grant so much. You need to understand where this stems from, okay?
Yeah.
First of all, we didn't deal him at the deadline, which I thought was stupid. Number 2, the dude, honestly, is actually, I think he'd be a really good number 3 on a good basketball team if he would just shut the hell up and accept that role. But he doesn't want that role. He wants to be getting paid $25-30 million a year in his next contract. He's looking for a 4-year $120 million deal. He doesn't want to be the number 2 or number 3. He wants to be an alpha, and that's everything that he's not. When he was in OKC, Sean, he shot 53%, 50%, and then 48% in Denver.
Shot attempts went up.
Then he comes to Detroit, and he wants to be this alpha, and he shoots 43% and 41% this year. This dude can kiss my ass. He's so bad at basketball. He has 0 basketball intelligence. Cade Cunningham is clearly the alpha on the team, and I tweeted it out in November. This dude can't handle playing with another star. Why? Because he gets jealous. Cade is 19, 20 years old and is already a better basketball player than Jeremy Grant. What do you want me to do? Yeah, we don't talk about Saddiq Bey when he has a bad game. We don't talk about Cade. They're young. This dude is in basically the prime of his career, looking for the next contract. And he's talking about being a number 1 or a number 2? Come on, Sean.
Okay, but first of all right, I know a lot of that's stemming from the reports that he wants to be a primary scorer that came out during the trade deadline. You could be a primary scorer in the NBA without being the number 1 or number 2 option. On top of that, the comments about trading him before the deadline, I understand where those come from. However, if you're in the position of Troy Weaver and the Detroit Pistons, if you're going to trade Jeremy Grant, which first of all, Detroit's position this deadline wasn't just, we're going to go out, we're going to trade Jeremy Grant to whoever the highest bidder is. Because in reality, if you wait for something like this summer ahead of the NBA draft, going into when more teams like, say the Chicago Bulls are going to look at teams like the Philadelphia 76ers or other teams throughout the league that just got way better than they have been and realize we might be a Jeremy Grant piece away from going and getting a title. So I think Detroit not trading him, I mean, listen, if you're going to go ahead and trade him, that's fine, but you have to get something in value of return. And Jeremy Grant, we might not like him, we might not love his fit next to Cade Cunningham and Saddiq Bey, but he's by no means a bad NBA player. And that's not somebody that you want to walk out the door for nothing and just allow to not get any assets. When he came to Detroit...
Why? I would take a Snickers bar to trade away Jeremy Grant, and if I'm the Lakers, I'm trading Russell Westbrook, I don't know, for, some bounty cloth. I don't know.
They're by no means comparable as far as their value that they
I can't
bring
hear you,
to their
Sean.
team.
I hear you now. Sorry.
Oh, you just didn't want to hear what you didn't.
He just doesn't want to hear you, Sean. He doesn't want to hear.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't want to hear. You just don't want to hear reality. I understand that. That's totally okay. But Russell Westbrook and Jeremy Grant's value are by no means comparable. Russell Westbrook can't score from almost any level unless he gets to the basket, whereas Jeremy Grant, at least at some level, can score at all three levels, even if he's not the most efficient at all times, which, by the way, you're acting like 45% or 40% is this terrible shooting percentage.
All right, I need to break something down for you. You're starting to annoy me, Sean. I love you. All right.
I love you too.
All
This
right.
is great.
Jeremy Grant shooting 41% from the field, bud.
Yeah.
Russell Westbrook shooting 43.5%. All right. Russell freaking Westbrook.
What's the difference?
The guy
in the
I
time?
could argue is the worst basketball player in the NBA right now. The guy I could argue I'd rather start my team with Fish than Russell Westbrook. He has a higher field goal percentage than Jeremy Grant.
But he is a worse shooter, though. We can agree on that.
He's a worse shooter, but he shoots the same
Because
from the
most of
three-point
those
line
are
and better
layups.
from the field. Like, I don't understand.
The majority of those are layups, by the way.
But okay, go on. I'll let you talk.
Go ahead, Sean.
The shot splits, the shot charts, they do matter. There's a lot more context to that, believe me. They might be comparable as far as shot percentage goes, but if you're telling me you'd rather have Russell Westbrook on your team than Jeremy Grant, even you're lying, Adam. Even you.
I would rather die than have either of them on my team. That's kind of where I'm getting at. I don't want them in Detroit. Jeremy Grant is a useless basketball player. Look, I will acknowledge, maybe I'm being a bit ignorant and dramatic right now. I totally see that. All right, a bit.
All right,
Just
thank
a
you.
bit.
I appreciate it.
But the point is, man, when you're trying to build a young team like the Detroit Pistons are with that core, and you expect to have a top 3 pick, this dude cannot be on the team starting the season next year. It's just not a reality. There's only one basketball, Sean. Can you explain to me? I don't know if they changed the game of basketball. Maybe I didn't get the memo. You play with one ball, not 2, 3, 4. I don't get it. I don't at all.
Well, the other thing, Adam, and I think you got to consider. I actually wrote about this in my in an article I put up on Woodward Sports yesterday, talking about what the Pistons are going to be doing the rest of this year and establishing identity and establishing growth. And one of the things I talk about with Jeremy Grant is I think part of whether or not he's going to be on the team next year is contingent on where we fall in the draft order and what we actually are able to select in the draft. Because if we're in the top 3, and we do have the luxury of drafting one of those guys like Paulo or Chet or Jabari Smith, who's some of those interior guys, those post-running guys, then obviously Jeremy Grant becomes way more expendable. Detroit's going to look and make a move, and they're going to be able to move him with a lot more ease because, well, quite frankly, at that point, yeah, you're right. Too many cooks in the kitchen. It's a lot. But again, a lot of that depends on where Detroit ends up in the draft day as well, because there is a situation where you get at 4 and you have a guy like Ivy, or you're a little bit farther down than that, and then all of a sudden, you almost need to have a guy like Jeremy Grant on your roster again. So I think some of it does stem to what we're going to be doing at the draft this summer, Adam.
And I got a butt in here, Sean. Number one, thank you for joining us. Sean covers the Pistons for us at Woodward Sports, also a friend of the show. And I got to ask you about the Rookie of the Year race this year, because me and Adam have differences. I've been adamant all year it's Cade Cunningham, despite the ups and downs and Evan Mobley and his performances. But as of right now, who is your leader of the Rookie of the Year race? And if it isn't Cade, does he still have a chance to eventually get that award?
Yeah, for sure. I think as of right now, if the league were to close today, I think they would still probably give it to Evan Mobley just because of what the Rockets have done as Cavaliers have done, to get to this point, being as deep up into the playoff picture as they are. I think Cade Cunningham, I think he has a real chance at winning this award, and I think that if he's going to do it, it's going to be by what he's going to be able to do down the stretch. He has to be able to play consistently. He has to put up some more statistical games that are really impressive, because he already has statistics and things that put him above other people in his rookie class. And I would argue that when we've seen him on the court, Cade Cunningham has been the best rookie and the best player in this draft class. However, the one thing is the fact that, again, with Cade Cunningham, it has just been the consistency. So if he is able to put together a campaign and show some improvement down the stretch and have some consistently good games, I think at that point we're going to be talking here about how Cade Cunningham ran away with the Rookie of the Year trophy, because I honestly think there's a realistic chance to happen.
And then also, I want to ask you, I want to shift the conversation over to Killian Hayes for a second. And Killian, we talk about it on the show and his development and how good he's looked. Obviously, the other night had a pretty good game. It's always the scoring output that we have questions about. But me and Adam talk about maybe people need to start lowering their expectations for Killian, considering what he's able to do. He does so much on the basketball floor, maybe not scoring necessarily, but does a lot of other things. What is your kind of outlook now on Killian now that the season's almost to an end? And where do you see Killian kind of progressing in this lineup in the future? Is he a guy that comes off the bench? Is he a guy that can share the backcourt with Cade Cunningham? Kind of what is your opinion on Killian as of right now?
Yeah, I think with Killian Hayes, I think we got overly eager when we drafted him, when we saw some of the things he could do. I think anytime you see a guy who shoots left-handed and can do somewhat and can like replicate the steps of a step back, we go, James Harden? But like in all seriousness, that was never going to be what Killian Hayes was going to be. I think as far as his outlook now, obviously his playmaking's gotten a lot better. At first, he was a lot more aggressive when he was driving in, when he was on the coming off the bench. I do think his playmaking and his defense ability is really good. And it's not that, again, it's not that Killian Hayes needs to be this elite offensive player. He needs to be an NBA level player on offense in order to have a long-term future on this team. Because right now, he is towards the bottom of the league in a lot of categories offensively and his efficiency and his scoring. And again, it's not that, he's needs to be this elite scorer. Again, it's just he has to have an NBA level ability of scoring at some level. So I think that's going to be the thing with Killian Hayes going forward. I think this backup role right now is kind of perfect for him with Corey Joseph coming into the starting lineup. It gives him a little bit more scoring, and we saw how Killian Hayes struggled against some of those starting level minutes. And for him to finish games instead of starting games is actually something I think that's been really good for his development too. So I think for right now, I think to keep things where they're at and allow him to continue to grow in that role will be best for him. But so far, I mean, there's definitely been some reason to at least be optimistic. And again, he's still young. He's 20 years old. He's not even 21 years old yet. So anyone making any definitive judgments about his career, I wouldn't go that far either.
Yeah, as long as he's getting more minutes than Corey Joseph. I'll take it. I'm good with it.
Yeah, look, I mean, Hamidou Diallo has been like one of my favorite players to watch outside of Cade Cunningham and Sadiq Bey this year. And I'm going to bring it back to your boy. Diallo has a better PER, player efficiency rating, than Jeremy Grant. So does Derek White. Hell, a rookie in Evan Mobley does. Obi Toppin. Drew Eubanks.
But those guys have
Kayvon Looney.
Less of a sample size. You got to understand.
Not really. Gordon Hayward, Aaron Gordon, Bojan Bogdanovic, Tyler freaking Hero, the white dude in Miami.
Okay, well.
Tyler Hero, you mean the favorite to win the Sixth Man of the Year this year? Yeah. That doesn't sound like too much of an insult to me, Tyler Hero.
I mean, when we're talking about Jeremy Grant, what he wants to get paid, it is an insult, to be honest. Again, that's my biggest problem with Jeremy. I just don't think he's a fit for this team. That's where all my frustration really stems from.
Adam,
I could care less about him as a basketball player.
Well, again, Adam, like I said, I think both could be. I think Jeremy could be a good basketball player, but I think you could also acknowledge that he might not be the best fit for this team going forward. And quite frankly, if you were to ask me what I think the Pistons should do with Jeremy Grant this summer, I also think they should probably trade him and open up more spots, because I do think that we've seen Sadiq Bey and Cade Cunningham really soar this year and play really good basketball. And I do think, to your point, that it does get to a certain point where, okay, is this actually productive, or could this potentially be hindering development to a certain respect? So again, my argument has never been that Jeremy Grant needs to sign a supermax and needs to be in Detroit forever. No, my argument is that Jeremy Grant is by no means a scrub. He is a good NBA player.
You can be a good NBA player, but if you don't realize that you're just a good NBA player, you don't offer me anything. I don't know how to cook desserts. If I sat there in the kitchen trying to make desserts every day, you'd call me an idiot. Some self-awareness would be nice from Jeremy Grant. I'm so tired of the ISO ball. This team doesn't even play basketball the right way. They don't even have an offensive model to play off of. It's inconsistent, which is why they suck. And that's been one of my biggest frustrations with not just Jeremy Grant, but Dwayne Casey. Sean, I don't feel like they have a game plan going into every night. It's kind of like Cade touch the ball, dribble up the court, give it to Jeremy Grant, go ISO in the block. Same thing with Jeremy, Sadiq, and really Cade. Cade drive in. If they're contesting you and doubling, you kick out. Like, it's the same thing every night. There's no... Go ahead.
Well, this team sucks because they have $40 million in dead salary cap, and by design, this team was put together to not be a team that was going to be competing in playoff runs and going deep down the run. And yes, sometimes the offense doesn't always have the best ball movement. Sometimes we do come out and we are losing by 15 or 20 points. But right now, we've won 3 out of our last 4 defensively. We've been way more competitive on the offensive end. We're actually getting the ball down to Beef Stew. He's actually finally starting to generate some offense. We're finally beginning to see guys like Sadiq Bey, Kate Cunningham, even Jeremy Grant coexisting with those guys, and to have 2 or even all 3 of them play well in one game together, which is something which by the way, there's been injuries all season, and Jeremy Grant and Kate Cunningham still haven't really played much together yet. So again, I think there's just a lot of factors into this season. You can pull out player efficiency statistics that Adam, I'd love to have you back and record a podcast with you again, and we could dive deep together and talk about all that. But yeah, I understand where you're coming from with Jeremy Grant. But
listen, I just it's like having a kid. Sometimes you want to do this, but you don't do it.
Yeah, you don't.
But you
get close.
You think about it. We got to go to break, Sean. Sean, when we get back, I want to continue the conversation, so don't go anywhere. Stay put. We got to go to a quick break. When we get back, more Pistons talk with Sean Murphy. But before we go, Maddie, what do we got?
We do need to hear about the Fulling Warehouse.
Well, imagine playing Fulling with Jeremy Grant. It'd be a blast. And Fulling
I'd
Warehouse
win.
in Hamtramck, home of the original football bowling pin game called Fulling. You can host your corporate party, team building event, or you can just come in with family and friends. They got 2 ways to play, either $10 unlimited open play or a private lane reservation for $120 for up to 10 people for 2 hours. They have 100 different beers. They have their $2 mystery beer machine, and they have multiple full bars. You bring the food, or you can have it delivered in. Come get your full on. Check it out at fullingwarehouse.com.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Think you're a big shot?
Oh, excuse me, it goes down!
Think you can make the big shot?
Washington fires and hits!
Woodward Sports wants to send you to the finals for college basketball April 2nd through the 4th in New Orleans. That's right, you and a friend in the Big Easy. We'll take care of the airfare, hotel, and tickets to see the finals for college basketball. Listen Monday through Friday to the Morning Woodward Show. Big D Energy. And the bottom line for your chance to qualify. If you can make the big shot, you and a friend are getting out of the cold and to New Orleans.
Got it!
Keep listening and watching for your next chance to win. Powered by Planet Fitness, Syntron, and the Sports Marketing Agency.
And it's over! Anything can happen in March!
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on The Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2. Sean Murphy is still with us.
I want to switch gears a little bit. I know you guys brought up Killian Hayes a little earlier, but Sean, I think the expectation moving forward for Killian Hayes needs to be this guy can be a solid rotation player. Hell, I could argue a sixth man if he can just get his offensive production up. But I think the value he brings on the defensive side of the ball is needed in every championship team. I know he's the number 7 overall pick. I know he's a lottery pick, comes with expectations. But I just don't see him elevating his game where he's a 17-8, 17-10 guy a night. What I see is a guy that I think at his peak is 10-7-4, 10-7-5, a steal or two a game. Am I missing the boat?
No, you're pretty much spot on. I think to expect anything otherwise offensively from Killian Hayes, as far as what we've seen so far his career, is just simply unrealistic. I think I think Detroit fans instinctively we look back on picks and whenever we see someone that was drafted after a player, like, Tyrese Halliburton after Killian Hayes,
oh, yeah.
we're quick to go, oh, well, bust. This guy's no good. We should have just drafted that guy, which obviously Tyrese Halliburton's playing incredible basketball offensively, and Killian Hayes and Tyrese Halliburton are even in the same stratosphere. However, like you said, Adam, every single team in the NBA needs a guy like Killian Hayes where they can come in and defend the ball. They need guys who can create shots, even if it's not necessarily for yourself. To be able to create shots for others is something that any NBA team would take. And I do think that if Killian Hayes does, again, it's not that he needs to be this elite level NBA scorer, but he needs to have the threat to be able to score so that defenders actually respect him on a basketball court, and you don't have Cade Cunningham and double or triple teams because you know that you're not going to pass it to Killian Hayes to get a shot beyond the arc. So I definitely think that 6-man role and that solid rotation player for him, and to be that lead playmaker for that second unit is kind of a perfect role for him. So I definitely think if he keeps improving and showing signs of life in this role, I definitely think going forward, especially, I mean, let's be honest, with his play so far, I don't see much of a free agency market commanding Killian Hayes. So I think we can continue to keep him in Detroit and allow him to keep trying to develop at this role. And you know what? Let's see where it goes. I do think Killian Hayes can be a solid player in this league. Not an all-star, but certainly someone that a winning team would be glad to have on their roster.
And we like to talk about, obviously, the Pistons season thus far, and they've came this far without having a true center on their team. And Isaiah Stewart's been doing a hell of a job down there. He's a center. You can call him a center. He's 6'8", 6'9". But I want to get your opinion on Isaiah Stewart. And I asked Motor City Hoops the same question, and he gave me a similar answer. But for Isaiah Stewart and his potential and his ceiling, where do you see Isaiah Stewart? Is he a future 5, or is he somebody that is probably going to have to slide to the 4 spot? Because clearly this team needs a 5, a true 5-man who can defend the rim especially. But where do you see, the ceiling of Isaiah Stewart, and where do you see him on this team in the next year or two, and what position do you see him playing?
Yeah, Isaiah Stewart's kind of the interesting little golden egg, right? Because I think there's a lot of players that we know about their future. We know where their role fits in this team. I think Isaiah Stewart is one that could be a little bit more of a question mark. Now, I don't really see. I mean, if you needed Isaiah to come in and play the 4, I think you could. But I think just the way that he plays the game and the way that he approaches the game, I just think he's a 5. I just think that's the position that fits him. Now, I do think that Detroit, if they're going to want to get to a point where they're going to want to win and improve, I do think that they are going to have to get someone a little more skilled in that 5 position to be starting for us on a night-to-night basis, because of the fact that, for one, I mean, almost every night Isaiah Stewart's undersized. That's one thing. That's fine. He can generally hold his own fine in the paint, but the other thing is just being able to have a little bit more of that offensive game, which, again, we've seen Isaiah Stewart over the course of the past month or two has improved offensively. He is being more aggressive. He's attacking the rim, and he is doing everything that he can to leverage his offensive game. However, to me, just as far as like the ceiling for this team and where we're going, I just think that his best role in Detroit, in my opinion, would just be a really good backup center, someone that can come off the bench, be like that energizer guy. He can kind of be like a heart and soul member of the team, but not necessarily be like one of like our key starters. I definitely don't think it's impossible for him to come off and be a solid starting center in the NBA going forward. However, as of right now, I think he'd be really good coming off the bench.
Bingo. Love it. I love it.
And I want to talk about Dwayne Casey for a little bit, but I'm glad you brought up the possible, rotation piece with Isaiah Stewart, because, I think Jeremy Grant would be, a great bench player. You start him on the bench, you give him 3 minutes a night, he comes out, gets you 3 turnovers, and he goes back on the bench.
That would be your perfect recipe, Adam. That sounds like
I know. I'm horrible. Yeah. At least I admit it. I know I'm horrible. All right. Yeah. But beyond that, I do want to get to Dwayne Casey. Look, I don't think he's the guy to take this team to a championship level, but it's kind of hard to even say that right now, and I don't even think it's fair to say that, because this roster isn't really ready to contend or compete, let alone win games right now.
Right.
So what's the future look like with Dwayne Casey? How long do you think he has here in Detroit, and do you see him being a part of the team that not only rebuilds but actually gets into the playoffs, competes in series, maybe wins a playoff series? Who knows? And does he build it like he built Toronto?
And to tie it back, what do you think of him telling Isaiah Stewart to shoot less jump shots? And then you can answer the question also. Add that onto there.
Well, first of all, as someone that's watched Isaiah Stewart take jump shots, I think that is a good thing that Dwayne Casey told him, and I think he should probably keep telling him that more. But no, in all seriousness, I don't think Dwayne Casey, when he's all said and done in the Detroit or in the Detroit organization, I don't think he's going to be gone because of Troy Weaver or because of anyone in the front office. I think there's a respect there. Dwayne Casey is the second oldest coach in the league at this current time. So as far as how long he's going to be on this team, as long as, as far as whether or not he's going to be the coach to lead us to a championship, I've said before, I don't really know if he is the right coach to lead us to a championship. I mean, we do have to look at what happened towards the end of his time in Toronto. However, again, with the program that he is building, it might not be exactly right like Toronto as far as the composition of players that are coming in. However, the play style that Toronto has, as far as being defensive oriented, shooting the three, being quick up and down the court, I think Detroit is implementing a lot of those pillars of the Toronto program that he did build. I could see Dwayne Casey having like a role similar to like what John Beilein has in the front office right now, as someone that is an advisor and someone that's there with players or gives the organization some sense of direction of where to go and to give some guidance there. I mean, Dwayne Casey, he's never really been given a great roster in his time in Detroit. So I think, Adam, to your point, anyone judging his record in Detroit, it's like, come on, the guy's had a bag of kettle chips out there against NBA players.
There's nothing
really
wrong with kettle chips, Sean. Honestly, I'm actually very offended.
Well, when you're sending out kettle chips to try and dunk a basketball.
Why? That's what Jeremy Grant is.
You're making his point. Yeah.
Adam, you're something else. But I love it. I love it. Yeah.
I know. Listen, Sean, I can't thank you enough for hopping on the morning show. Would love to have you back anytime.
You're the best, Sean.
We got to keep it going. Would love to have you on as often as possible. You were great.
Absolutely.
Enjoyed the conversation so much, dude. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. It's a Tuesday vibe. I think that's today's.
Yep.
That's what we're going with. Today's theme is Tuesday vibes.
Trash Grant Tuesday.
Tuesday vibes.
Oh, Trash Grant. I don't mind Trash Grant Tuesday.
Trash Jeremy Tuesday. Whatever it is.
Sean, take care, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much. That was great. Maddie, before we go.
We do need to hear about the sports marketing agency.
Yes, let me tell you about our friends at SMA. And SMA has been leveraging pro athletes and other notables for a decade against the issues around mental health and substance use disorder. Now, with the help of NFL alumni, Sean Jordan has been able to save lives and take a stand against these issues, and that's why, soon coming to Woodward Sports, the sports marketing agency podcast called This is the F Word series on fentanyl. If you are struggling with substance abuse or mental health, they're here to help. Please go to thesportsma.com and tell them Woodward Sports sent you. We'll be right back.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
What do you get when you mix fresh, juicy, hormone-free chicken with our savory signature sauces? The best damn wings you've ever had. Wing Snob Traditional Wings. Try our Jamaican jerk or lemon pepper. And we toss them to perfection. When your wings are this good, it's easy to be a snob. Order online at wingsnob.com today. Wing Snob. We just have better wings.
Woodward Sports. Missed part of the show today? Watch again on YouTube or download the podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Guys, what a way to kick off March and March Madness than having a Michigan versus Michigan State basketball game tonight. Jeff, who do you have winning tonight?
Who do I have winning? That's tough. And I know money, I probably won't bet on it because you got – I'm kind of drawn between
After
two
you
things.
just said you would in the chat.
Because I thought about it. I was going to bet on Michigan, but a very friendly viewer of the show reminded me that it is March, a.k.a. it is Izzo month. And it got me a little scared. Now, who needs it more? Clearly Michigan, and that's probably why I'm starting to persuade myself to throw some money on them because Michigan State beat them the first time pretty decisively. They won't have Juwan Howard, and I believe they are in the Chrysler Center, so it's going to be a great game tonight. Who do I have winning?
Michigan's 5-point favorites.
5-point favorites at home?
They're 5-point favorites.
Wow.
State's 19-9 walking in. Michigan 15 and 12.
Big win over Purdue, but Michigan just lost. I'm going to go Michigan.
Michigan has just been horrible defensively.
They have.
That's been my problem with Michigan.
Their only saving grace for me in today's game is the fact that they're playing at Michigan.
At the Breslin Center? Yeah, look, I'm looking at this
Chrysler
game.
Center, dingbat.
Huh?
Chrysler
Center, I'm sorry. Why did I call it the Breslin?
I don't know. You're going to offend a lot of people. You want to get canceled? There you go.
Listen. Listen, I got a lot of stuff in front of me. I read the wrong line.
He just stood up, Fish. I don't know if I would mess with him right now.
Yeah. My knees are killing me.
Well, he's going to do something to me
Arthritis
anyway. I might as well let him do it now.
I appreciate it, buddy.
Jimmy Grant's giving you all
look,
kinds of issues.
when we talk about this matchup for Michigan and Michigan State, 3-point shooting actually for me is the biggest factor here. Who's going to be hot? It's going to be a who's going to be able to hit their shots game.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a defensive grind. The over/under is 142.5. I'll gladly take I would probably take the over, to be honest. This seems to like a 78, 76, 78, 74 game. I think State covers. I think it's going to be a close game. But we talk about who needs to win it more. Yeah, Michigan needs to win it more. This is go time. It's go time for Michigan. You know, they're projected, I believe, an 11th seed right now.
Yeah.
Right, Jeff? I mean, you lose this game. You lose to an Ohio State.
Yeah.
You lose out maybe. Then what? What do you do with Michigan? They barely sneak in? I'm nervous if I'm a Michigan fan right now.
You know what I'm thinking about too? Michigan's going to obviously give it their all tonight, and if they do that and they play their absolute tail off and they lose, you have Iowa Thursday, then you have Ohio State Sunday. So it's tough. Michigan, in my mind, they have to win tonight. I know Michigan State, people say they need it more because of where they are, but no, I disagree. Michigan needs it more. They have to look respectable. They just got beat in a bad fashion to Illinois. They kind of came back, but Kofi Cockburn kind of shut them out and completely destroyed them. So they need it more, and it's so valuable that they get this win because they have Iowa in 2 days. So they're going to have to figure it out. They really are. And I'm curious to see how they look, considering what they just came off of, the performance. How does Hunter Dickinson look? How do those guys look?
For me, Max Christie, Tyson Walker.
Yeah.
X factors. For Michigan, who's showing up? Who's showing up for Michigan tonight?
I mean,
Hunter Dickinson? Wow, the obvious choice.
But still, I mean,
what does he get me tonight? 14 and 10? I don't think that's enough. I need a monster game from him.
Mm-hmm.
And who on Michigan State can stop him? He needs to have a really good night.
Yeah, they have Bingham, but that's really
it. Look,
7-footer. But
this is a tough game, man. Tough game to call, but for me, I'm gonna lean towards Michigan State. I'm gonna take them to cover at least.
Mm-hmm.
Tough game. Michigan's got to have it, though. I want to shift gears a little bit. Sean McVay. Maddie, this question's really for you. Sean McVay turned down $100 million to join the Amazon Thursday night broadcasting crew. Now, we'll get to his decision and why he made it later, but what would you decline $100 million for? Like, what would it take for you to say no to $100 million?
I don't.
Anybody?
Anything.
I mean, if it involved death or not death,
I don't know. I would consider like who
death.
I'd
who
kill
has to
somebody
die?
for $100 million. What do you
Are
mean?
we talking like a distant cousin? You can die.
What if you're that distant cousin to somebody else?
That's fine.
Okay, that's good.
I would be okay with you killing me.
myself.
That's tough.
For you to have $100 million.
Listen, if you told me I got to take one for the team for all of you to get $100 million, listen, I got to suck it up. I know I'm going under 6 feet under.
Hey,
Just
at least you're going
buy me
worth
a
a
nice,
lot, right?
buy me a nice, grave site. Buy me a good plot. Put me next to, I don't know, like Marilyn Monroe or something.
Little statue.
I don't
Adham
really put it
Beydoun.
anywhere. Throw me
I mean,
in
I'm
the
just
ocean.
asking for small things. I'm giving my life for you guys.
Has no one acknowledged Amazon giving out $100 million like it's nobody's business? Like,
Well, they have. Look, Amazon
is
has FU
different.
money, so they can do whatever they want.
They're different.
Let me tell you a fun story about Amazon.
Uh-oh.
Amazon one time had a disagreement with a toilet paper company selling on their website. This is like, Amazon before the Whole Foods deal. So what does Amazon do? They start manufacturing their own toilet paper and selling it at half the price at a total loss for 2 years and took everybody out of business, and now they own the toilet paper industry.
That's so
on their site. That's how much money Amazon has.
Yeah.
Just a little perspective. But, Fish, $100 million. What's it going to take for you to say no to it? If I told you can't watch soccer anymore for the rest of your life,
So
would you take $100 million?
To not watch soccer for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Hell no, I'm watching soccer.
100 million
I'm
fish.
choosing-
you can't with 100 million? You can't find a new hobby, buddy.
I'm choosing happiness over anything.
Happiness.
I respect that.
You can buy
I would be
happiness,
so happy
buddy.
with $100 million.
Yeah, but I can't watch soccer.
You can watch cricket. You
Yeah,
can learn how to
I
watch
could.
and appreciate American football.
I do watch American football.
You can watch the USFL.
You can,
I will be watching the
You
USFL.
can buy the USFL.
Why would I want to do that?
I
so
don't
that
know.
you can end it. What do you mean?
Come on,
I do
Fish.
watch
Are you,
American
for soccer,
sports.
you wouldn't? Are you serious?
No, I wouldn't.
Like, I would give up watching every major sport except football. I would actually say no. I think. Would I say no to 100
Well,
million? Stop watching football?
that's your opinion.
That's a tough one. See, that's a good one. Would you stop watching football for 100 mil?
I mean, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Give
I
the
like
100
other
million
That's a
sports.
hard decision.
No,
for
it
me.
is. It is. I like other sports. $100 million.
That is a
I
lot
can
of
buy
money.
myself a football stadium.
Not really.
Watch some
No,
basketball.
not
Can't watch
anymore.
football. But I can buy the whole damn stadium.
Not
all right?
anymore. Those stadiums
You can
cost a
own
lot
the
of
team.
money.
All right, yeah,
then-
actually not anymore. They went up a whole lot. But you know what? I'll buy a little warehouse. Set up a bunch of TVs.
Little warehouse.
Little warehouse. You can't buy a venue, but I'll buy a warehouse. Set up a bunch of TVs. Have my basketball on. I'll be
I like
crying.
that.
You can't watch no football.
Yeah,
But $100 million
what's the-
freaking dollars. So, hey, Mr. Ray, I agree with you. I'd give up all sports. I'd live in the mountains. All right.
Okay, you guys are lying to yourself.
If you
that
give me a
us
mansion
all
in the
sports.
mountains,
Hey,
Provide
just because
groceries.
you can't watch them doesn't mean you can't play
You know what? To be
them.
honest,
Hey,
yeah. Let's not push it. Look, I would
Okay, you can't
sacrifice.
give us an NFL.
I would sacrifice watching football for 100 million because I would go buy a
Wow.
cabin up in the middle of nowhere. I'd buy a hunting rifle and I'd just spend the rest of my
Just
life in the
imagine
middle
you.
of nowhere to myself, away from society, killing my own meat, eating my own food.
You're a big fan of.
oh, never mind.
that
like
would
your
be my
life.
retirement plan. I would live you guys would never be able to find me. I would go so far
I'd
away from
find
this
you.
goddamn place.
I'd find you.
Imagine going and finding Adam and you just see
In
him.
the
He just-
mountains,
he
I have
just
like a
has this
huge beard.
Big beard.
Who's there?
Is Jim Caldwell a coach?
It's Fish. Who? Fish. I already have enough fish in here.
You sound like Maz.
It's Fish, Adam from Woodward. Oh, Fish! You son of a bitch! How you doing, buddy?
Fish would like
I'm
bring,
doing great. Yeah.
Fish would bring Jeremy Grant up there to visit you.
Oh, I would no. That would be
Oh,
no
no.
entry. No, we would terminate.
Now's the time.
Adam, we
Anybody.
talked about earlier, he's got a shotgun up there. So I don't know. I wouldn't
And
approach
two
Adam
bats,
with
and two bats.
anybody he does not like. His big old beard.
You know what I would do with my 100 million?
Is there a
I would
country
buy
you
out
wanna
Russell
tra-
Westbrook's contract and Jeremy Grant's contract and tell them to retire from the NBA. That's what I would do.
That'd be well spent.
Is there a country
I
you
would
want to
spend
travel
that
to?
about $67 million of it.
Yeah.
I would just put towards Jeremy Grant and Russell Westbrook's buyout.
I thought you were gonna like drop a bomb on Ohio or something. I don't know.
No, I'm not a. Come on, I'm not that horrible. Look, I know I say some stuff.
Maybe you are. Hey, is there a country you'd want to visit for $100 million?
No.
Visit for $100 million? What if you? Got,
I would want to visit that island where.
Well, but you'd be able to spend
there's like
any.
indigenous people.
Oh,
Like you'd be able to
And-
get a business class flight and not have to worry about money. You'd be able to get whatever you want.
Yeah, I would want to travel to that little island that's like indigenous and they're still
Bora
use like
Bora?
bow and arrows and spears.
oh,
like
not Bora
that
Bora.
civilization where Rockefeller basically got eaten alive. Apparently, you guys don't remember this, Michael Rockefeller?
Yes, I do.
I have an idea.
So
of
it's
it.
this like island that still lives like they're in 1342 basically. Spears, arrows. They kill their own food, fish. They don't know what a phone is. They don't know what Wi-Fi
I don't know
is.
why
They don't
that
know
was
what a
directed at
car
me.
is. Nothing. I would
Really?
go there, and they would probably eat me alive. But hey,
I mean, it sounds similar to North Korea. Sounds similar to North Korea.
Fish, if you go to North Korea, I would
I am
personally
going.
run for
Like,
office.
you guys
Just-
think it's a joke. I'm going to North Korea, whether you like it or not.
Fish, I would fire you the day you go.
All right. Well, it'll probably be like 5 or 10 years.
Oh, okay. So you have
So-
some time here.
I,
Maybe you'll have tenure. Who knows?
New.
He'll be lucky enough to see the draft in,
That's what
in
it.
Detroit.
That,
What is it called?
I don't think
It's
I'm seeing the
Sentinel
draft.
Island.
North Sentinel
North
Island.
Sentinel
yeah.
Island. Yeah, I do. That's the guy who went over there to preach Christ to him, and he got shot with bow and arrows.
Yeah, one of them did. And then Rockefeller. So this is the thing with Rockefeller. The story is Michael Rockefeller went there, and they said he was eaten alive. But like 5-7 years later, National Geographic was doing another study on the island, and they saw one little white dude rowing the boat with the whole crew. So they weren't ever able to confirm it was him, but
But there's
maybe
a
he's
little
alive.
white dude out there.
Maybe he's alive. Seriously, I think that's cool. You guys aren't into this kind of stuff?
I am.
I mean,
Gracious.
listen. Imagine going over there and just showing them a football. Just being like, this is what we do. This is what we do. Football, basketball. They just shoot
I would
with a
go
bow and
there
arrow.
with
Create a
fish.
team.
I would hang fish on a cross, and I would go there like in peace. You know, I'd be like, I'd offer fish as a sacrifice, and hopefully we could have like mutual relations after that. You okay with that, Fish?
Well, would that mean that they're gonna eat me?
I don't know. It
Cannibalism?
depends on their culture. I couldn't guarantee your safety.
No
to be honest.
promises.
Well, I don't think I'm pretty safe.
You'd have
10
to sign
feet
a
up on a
waiver,
cross.
Fish. You'd have to sign a couple waivers.
Yeah, that is a true story though on Michael Rockefeller. You
That
should
is
look into
crazy.
it, Maddie.
I will.
It's actually like a really cool story.
Huh. They should make a movie out of that.
For $100 million, would you spend the rest of your time in space?
No.
No, because what am I spending
that
it
would be
on?
alone.
All right, would you jump off
I don't
Niagara
do well
Falls
alone.
without
Yeah.
a parachute or anything?
Sure.
I don't think you live.
No, there's certain parts you could.
That's okay.
I'm talking the worst part, buddy, with the rocks at the bottom.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. Niagara Falls. Those are like Great Lakes.
Oh, man. All right, I'm probably going to get canceled sooner than later. We got to go to break.
By the way, speaking of Niagara Falls,
I know. Well, let's go to break. When we get back, Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals, full of drama.
Oh, my God,
It's
yes.
Tuesday. We're putting out press releases. Oh,
From
my
his
God.
agent.
I'm not happy with my football
From his
team. Pay
agent.
me.
I can't wait to talk
These
about
quarterbacks
this.
don't get it.
Yeah.
They don't.
They don't get it.
They don't get it, but I know what you guys get. So where to get your haircut?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, guys, Lady Janes, and guys, listen, we are a simple bunch, and we talk about football. We love football, but do you love Sports Center? You can come to Lady Janes, sit in their comfortable chairs. The ladies will take care of you, and you'll walk out handsome and clean while watching Sports Center. So get to Lady Janes, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in any time because it is wicked awesome.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. As Kyler Murray's statement was probably the longest thing I've ever even looked at because I couldn't read the whole
I needed
thing.
to like zoom in. It was very frustrating.
I saw a tweet actually just a few minutes ago that was like the CVS receipt. It's like Kyler Murray's statement.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's very comparable.
I liked it.
Jeff, what the hell's going on?
I don't know. And it's frustrating me a whole lot. It is. And it's always going to favor the player. I'll get that out of the way. It always does. But Kyler Murray's clearly upset at the Arizona Cardinals, and it's on the financial side. But this is what I don't understand. Dak Prescott went through this. Lamar Jackson is going through this right now. Where's their statements? Where's Lamar Jackson's CVS receipt statement? I don't understand. Lamar Jackson is on the last year of his deal, and he's I'm assuming, going to play and suit up for the Ravens. They can't agree on a contract. But there's the difference. How Kyler Murray's going about it, I have a problem with. I don't have a problem asking for your money, asking for your chicken. That's fine with me. Get what you deserve. The problem I have is how he's going about it. You'd release a statement, or excuse me, his agent releases a statement, and they have the audacity to list the ones in the two. One, Kyler Murray wants to be an Arizona Cardinal for his entire career. Two, he wants to get extended properly and get paid, and I get that. The question I have is how much is he asking for? And I think that's the number that a lot of people want to know. No one's questioning Kyler Murray's abilities. People do question him late in the season. Same with Cliff Kingsbury. But I don't have a problem with quarterbacks trying to get their money. It's how they do it. And if you could see Lamar Jackson, and listen, I get it. You're a mobile quarterback. The lifeline for these guys ain't as long as everybody else. So Lamar Jackson, I get it. Lamar Jackson could have came out with a lengthy statement as well and pleaded his case for a contract extension.
How does this help
And I would
anybody?
understand. It doesn't help
And
Kyler that much.
Would you pay Kyler $50 million a year?
No, I wouldn't. And that's just me, though.
So what are you doing then? Because I'm going to tell you what I'm doing.
I think they're handcuffed.
No, they're not. Because they can franchise tag him for the next 3 to 5 years, basically, in total with his remaining years on his contract. They own him for the next 3 to 5 years. They can trade him. He hasn't signed a new deal. He doesn't have a no-trade clause. Trade him. If I'm Arizona, I'm trading Kyler Murray. Not dealing with this.
Do you think they
I can't win paying a quarterback $50 million a year. I can't.
You got to think this, and you're right. I agree with you. But from the general manager perspective of Arizona, they drafted Josh Rosen. They fixed it. They drafted Kyler Murray. Now they have their franchise quarterback. How confident are you from a GM perspective? You're going to trade your guy, and you're going to have to find another franchise quarterback. They built this team around Kyler Murray. They traded DeAndre Hopkins for Kyler Murray, and it's tough to see a scenario where they trade him, but I agree with you, Adam. I'm not paying Kyler Murray $50 million. I don't think anybody in this chat would agree with that either, hopefully.
Fish is taller than Kyler Murray. I hope you guys understand what's going on here.
That is what we're looking at. That is what we're
Are
looking
you
at.
sure?
Look, you want a contract extension, Kyler? No problem. But, dude, let's be honest. Are you a quarterback that can... I mean, I don't even think it's fair for me to even say that. Are you a quarterback that can carry a team? I don't think any quarterback can really carry a team. I've seen it with Brady, but he had Belichick, right?
Right.
So you had that dynamic duo compensating for a lot of faults. Excuse me. What does Kyler Murray offer? Cliff Kingsbury? Looks like he's on the hot seat. The tag next year, I believe, is going to be anywhere from 38 to 42, 44 million. I don't want to pay him $50 million a year. And look, the market's the market. You know, we complained about this with Matt Ryan, then Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff. Look, the market keeps getting higher and higher for quarterbacks. The salary cap obviously increases, so it kind of adjusts for inflation. But $50 million? Aaron Rodgers is
Different, totally
yeah, but
different,
like
but
you know, he's in a position
still.
where he's made over $200-300 million in his career. Like, dude, take $20 million and just shut the hell up. Be a quarterback. Let your team build around you.
And he wants to re-sign Devontae Adams, but he wants
Which can't
$50
happen.
million. Anyway, that doesn't make any sense.
But what I was going with is like, I mean, he's asking for it.
No,
but
he is.
He's also
You're
in
right.
a position where maybe it's way more okay that he is asking for it because of the player that he is. We're talking
Absolutely.
about Kyler Murray.
Yeah, Kyler Murray, I mean, he doesn't... Listen, this is a guy who hasn't thrown over 30 touchdowns yet, which isn't a problem.
I'm going to entertain offers for Kyler Murray. That's what I'm doing. I'm entertaining offers.
Do you have a problem with Kyler, and is it the $50 million? Because I don't have a problem him coming out...
It's the way he's going about it.
There you go. Okay, we agree.
It's the number. I don't like the number, and I'd say it to his face. Dude, that's too much. No.
Yeah.
I'll give you Dak Prescott's contract, maybe. Maybe. $40 million a year. Just maybe. That's what Mahomes is making for the next 10 years. $40 million.
Yeah.
Each year.
It's going to be hard.
Pay Kyler Murray? Mahomes got a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even got me a playoff one, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where are you coming from?
You haven't
with
even
this
won the
number?
division yet. Where are you getting $50 million? Yeah, that's the market, but that's the market for you maybe in 2 years. Once your fifth-year option expires, I'm not restructuring your deal. Why the hell would I put myself in cap hell just to make you happy?
Yeah.
You can kiss my ass.
Yeah. And
I'm trying to build an NFL team that can help you win a championship. I'm trying to build a championship roster. I can't do that if after year 3 you're already asking for big money. When you haven't proven a damn thing outside of, if you don't have a DeAndre Hopkins, you can't overcome anything. Oh, you can't see over the line of scrimmage. No, I'm actually looking into trading Kyler Murray, to be honest with you.
And I wonder what he'd go for.
A few first-round picks, maybe. I would offer him up to the Giants, if not the Jets. Well, the Jets, no, Zach Wilson, so I can take that back. But you go look at a Pittsburgh. Give me your first-round pick this year. Maybe I take a defensive player, or I take 2, 3, 4 first-round picks. Who knows? I make a trade with Denver. Give me a young defensive stud and 2, 3 first-round picks. I'd consider it.
Yeah.
Why am I going to pay Kyler Murray all that money?
You're not.
If that's the case, like, I'd rather just go into a 1-year rebuild, suck this year, fire Kingsbury, bring in a new coach, a new quarterback next year. We'll be good. Easier said than done, obviously. But you can't pay your quarterback that much. Sorry. Your quarterback needs to understand he can't consume that much of the salary cap. You can't win like that. The Legion of Boom. Goodbye. What has Russell Wilson done since, huh?
Yeah, he got paid. And, yeah.
Where's the Super Bowl appearances, NFC title game appearances without the Legion of Boom? Oh, they don't exist.
And we don't even know what the Chiefs look like in a couple years.
Football's a team game.
Yeah.
Brady needed every bit of that Bucs roster. That's why he took a pay cut. Yeah. That's why he restructured. You don't win for 20 years by not restructuring and taking less. And when you're the quarterback and you make the most, You're the first one I look to take less. Not the wide receiver, not the DB, who has a short lifespan. No. I look at the quarterback. I'm not paying Kyler Murray $50 million. I'm looking to trade him, to be honest. What do you think?
No, I agree with you. I think
you traded him.
If I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I find a way to get it done because people talking about it in the chat, and I have similar opinions about the Arizona Cardinals. I don't think they want to go into rebuild mode, but again, you're paying a guy $50 million. I don't think that's a smart move either. So you're kind of that's why I say you're in a way you're a little bit handcuffed. Not like you have to make a decision handcuffed, but you're kind of you're screwed. You can get rid of your franchise quarterback, and then you have to restart, rebuild, like you said, fire Cliff Kingsbury, or you pay him and you're cap tied, and you can't surround Kyler Murray with talent, so you're never going to end up accomplishing anything you hoped for anyway. So. Kyler Murray, listen, I get the reason why these guys ask for money. Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson, they're mobile quarterbacks. Their lifespan in the NFL isn't as long as everybody else. But, and playing on a franchise tag is very scary. You can ask, Robert Griffin III. But still, with Kyler Murray, $50 million, I just can't find myself imagining a scenario where Kyler Murray is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, and we're all looking at it like, you know what, good for him.
I like this question from Nate. Does Kyler Murray give Denver a better outlook for the future than Aaron Rodgers? No, but I actually think you're maybe going to have to pay very similar for each quarterback. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is an option. You have to understand Green Bay have to make that trade. Are they willing to trade Aaron Rodgers right now? Do they want to run it back and try to get back to the NFC title game? Those are the questions being asked in Green Bay. In Arizona, you're not sure if Kyler Murray will even sign a contract if it isn't this embarrassing price tag. And yeah, you can call it negotiations. You can call it Cal's agent is, just trying to, get it out there and defend his client. I don't care. You're 3 years into the league. What have you done? Nothing.
No, yeah.
You're
right.
a nice quarterback. You're good. You're not top 5. You're not even top 7, top 8. Chill out, dude. Yeah. You're not that special. I would take a plethora of quarterbacks over you right now. Now, I don't like this Kyler Murray situation. He's not a leader. He's not a guy that I think can lead a locker room. He seems very to himself, about himself. That's not a quarterback. That's not a winning quarterback. As a quarterback, people look at you to be the selfless one, the individual that gives everything to the team before themselves. When you're a quarterback, everybody's looking at you with that responsibility. What are you doing? What's your body language look like in the huddle? What do you look like on the sideline? What are you doing when your back's against the wall? That's what your teammates are looking for out of you as a quarterback. You haven't shown any of those qualities at all. A hard pass on Kyler Murray. I'd consider trading him. I really would.
Yeah.
I know that doesn't sound fun for Arizona Cardinals fans, but it's not going to be fun when you're paying him $50 million a year. You can't keep DeAndre Hopkins. Buda Baker's probably retired, and so is DeAndre Hopkins in 2-3 years. Who knows?
Yeah, you lose Chandler
and
Jones.
And then what? Chandler Jones will be gone.
Yeah, no J.J. Watt.
Well, you have
obviously.
Isaiah Simmons. Who else? What's your young core? Christian Kirk?
That you're going to have
Rondell
to pay.
Moore?
You're going to have to pay Isaiah Simmons.
Yeah, you're going to need wide receivers in the future.
Yep.
You're going to need a tight end. You're going to need to build the O-line. You're going to need a run game. You're going to need a defense. Pay $50 million for a quarterback that can't see over the O-line. Pathetic.
Think about that, Adam. They went all in this year. They didn't win the division.
No, and they choked.
So they're going to pay him and go all in. Yeah, no, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I'm a hard pass for me.
It doesn't make no sense. I'm good
hard
with that.
pass for me. But you know what I'm excited for?
What?
I think I know what you're excited for.
The Wings are going to play tonight.
Oh my God.
I'm excited.
They host the Carolina Hurricanes at the LCA. I am so excited, actually. Now, I won't be down there, but it will be on in my house. I'll be watching it, enjoying the night, having a few drinks. I think I have a problem.
I asked you about this yesterday.
I think I do.
Okay. If we need to talk about it.
Yeah, I think maybe we should talk about it after the show.
We'll talk about it after the show.
I've been drinking a lot lately.
That's okay.
Yeah, I know it's
support
okay.
you.
Oh, I'm enjoying it. Don't get me wrong. It's not like I'm sad. But, it's a bit excessive
That's an
now.
even better thing, because if you're drinking and you're not sad, then we're going to be okay.
When the fun stops, stop.
But you know who is a very, very prevalent at LCA? It's Cintron.
Oh,
yes.
absolutely.
And if you're going down to Little Caesars Arena today, you need to pick up Cintron, because Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings, proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, and exclusively served at Little Caesars Arena. So if you're looking for premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and great taste, Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at cintronworld.com. Use the promo code RedWings10 and save 10% with shipping included. Remember, drink it, live it with Cintron.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Comerica Park, sunshine, the crackle of that. More sunshine, warmth. We're almost there, Detroit. Summer 2022 will be the summer of Woodward sports. We just gotta make it through this damn cold first.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. The Red Wings played a good night after a 10-7 loss against the Maple Leafs, taking on the Hurricanes. What are you doing?
I'm excited for the Wings game. I really am.
Yeah,
look, it's going to be tough. You know, Wings, I believe, start at 7:30 tonight, right?
Yep.
And Michigan State at 7:30. So I'm going to have to get, the dual
8:30
screen set
All
up.
the screens are going to happen.
8:30.
Yeah, Michigan State 8:30.
Was that 8:30?
I could have sworn it was at 7:30.
No,
Well, it's not.
Perfect.
8:30.
Perfect.
We got to overlap, but
I'm excited. I'm excited for the Wings game tonight. Carolina, I believe, -230?
Yeah.
220, 230, somewhere along those lines. Depends on the sports book.
Number 1 in the East. 30. Jesus
You know
Christ.
what's funny? Dylan Larkin, I believe, has 1 point fewer or more than one of Carolina's best players,
Yep,
Sebastian Aho.
He does. He has, in terms
He
of
has one more, right?
Same points, 55-55.
Okay.
He has more goals, but Aho has more assists. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle.
Well, there's that, and I feel like Dylan Larkin may be flying a bit under the radar in the NHL this year, which I understand. He's not on a winning team, right? If the Wings were relevant, winning 45, 48 games, 50 games, of course people would talk about Larkin nationally, but I'm really happy and impressed with Larkin.
Yeah.
Like, when you get the C on your chest, that's a real thing. That's pressure.
And he responds like he did this year.
He's delivered all season. I couldn't be happier with Larkin.
Yeah.
I think him and Sider on a point streak. I'm excited to see Lucas Raymond. As always, I have a man crush on Lucas Raymond. I will not hide that from you guys.
And I want to see Nedeljkovic as well. How he responds. He was benched the other night, but he came back into the game late, held him off for a little bit, and then they kind of got back into it. I'm going to see how he responds as well. The thing is, this is a game about all responding.
You guys are being dramatic on how many goals Carolina is going to score. Look, I get it. I get it. But come on, chill. You keep putting these kind of numbers in the chat, I might have to bet a lot of money on the over. Don't get me excited. 9-3. Come on, Charles.
9-3.
Come on.
The Leafs did beat Red Wings.
It was 10-7. It was at least entertaining. It was an ass kicking in the beginning. And then the Wings stormed back. I don't know how.
If somehow people are butthurt after that game, like I get you lost, but the way you lost and you're still butthurt, listen, I enjoyed it thoroughly. If you were there, you probably enjoyed it even more if you didn't leave early. And I know Tammy didn't. Adam, over-under is set at 6, I believe. I'm saying under with a 3-1, 3-2 game.
Oof. You can take the alternate spread and just do 5.5. That's what I do. Even if it's at like -145, I'll just do that, and then I'll pair it with another game that I'm feeling confident about, and then it feels like good odds to me.
Yeah.
That's what I do. Just a betting little tip insider. Adam, is Lucas Raymond your new Jimmy G? Ooh, that's a tough one.
That's a tough one.
That's a tough one. Great nucleus for the future. Steve Yzerman is doing an outstanding job getting his kind of guys.
That's important.
We talked about it yesterday, I believe. You have Soderblom in the minors. You have Edvison in the minors. Both absolute units, tall as hell. Don't make any sense. This team, it's got a strong young core, man. It's got a bright future. I'm excited for the next 3-5 years where this team is going to start becoming a Stanley Cup playoff contender, where they're going to make, hopefully, deep runs in the Stanley Cup playoffs. And who knows? Maybe it's Nedeljkovic, but maybe in 3 years it's Sebastian Cossa getting called up. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Keep DeKaiser off the ice. He's a complete load on. Yeah, look, what are you going to do? DeKaiser, look, that's the pairing. You can't change it. You're not bringing up any of those kids anyways. I don't mind DeKaiser. I know he's been playing really bad all season, but I would take it. Take a chill pill on Danny DeKaiser.
I know, hometown.
He's been here for a minute. Let's cut him some slack.
From the area.
Part of a rebuild. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus.
Went to De La Salle.
I'm excited for the Wings game, though, man. I got to say, the Wings have become more and more entertaining as the season has gone on. They're scoring a lot more consistently.
Yeah.
Lucas Raymond finally, I mean, he went a good, month stretch from December to January where he just didn't score a goal.
Yeah. We're talking about Mo
And now
Sider.
he's, No.
I'm saying,
Lucas
like,
Raymond.
we were talking about more so Mo Sider over that
me,
stretch.
I misunderstood.
Yeah. Kind of missed out on Lucas a little bit.
Yeah, no, Lucas, he struggled, and he's been pretty consistent since.
Mm-hmm.
He's the first NHL rookie to 40 points this year. I think there's a lot to talk about with the Red Wings. I'm really excited. And look, I can never pass up on watching a Red Wings game. I think it's must-watch TV.
Absolutely. And that's the point people talk about. You have Michigan State, you have the Red Wings tonight. That's why it's a great day to watch any type of sports, especially locally. The Red Wings, for me, have been my saving grace this season for all sports. I mean, the Detroit Lions hasn't been the most positive season. The Pistons are damn near last in the NBA. But you have a Red Wings team who's middle of the pack. They're fighting. They're competing. And we see the vision. And I think that's the most important part. About any team in Detroit, you see where they're going, and it gets you intrigued. It gets you bought in. And the Wings have done just that. No matter if they lose 10-7 to the Toronto Maple Leafs, I'm still bought in. And I think that's the biggest thing. Sider's amazing. Lucas Raymond's amazing. Larkin's having a breakout season, which I think is so important this season, if anything. So you can't complain.
How do you think he's done as captain?
Great.
Forget the point total.
Yeah.
I mean, he's having a phenomenal year. But
in terms of being
as a captain, leader of this team, give him a grade.
I'd say a B plus. I think he's done a pretty good
I'm
job.
going to give him an A, and I'll tell you why. He has single-handedly, at points throughout the season, on any given night, single-handedly scored all the goals, been a part of all the points.
Yeah.
He was involved in every goal-scoring play for the Detroit Red Wings. I feel like there's nights where he just takes over, and it's about him. I mean, I went to the game against Anaheim, and that's what he did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he is so fast. I mean, look, you can watch it on TV. I don't think it does it justice on TV. Go to the LCA, watch the Red Wings play one night, and you'll see just how much faster Dylan Larkin is than everybody else. It's actually unbelievable.
It's crazy to see. I went to the game. They faced the Tampa Bay Lightning. I went to the game, saw Dylan Larkin, and the biggest thing that stuck out to me from being a captain is it was a dirty shot on Lucas Raymond. It was a dirty shot on actually Dylan Larkin. It was the same play that he got hit in the back, and he turned around, hitting that guy with a left hook. You had Fishes doing the reenactment, little left hook, and a right hook, and then he just completely knocked the guy out. So I like Dylan Larkin in a lot of ways. In terms of statistics, obviously having a career year, but just in terms of leadership, stepping up, looking after the young guys, I think he's done a hell of a job. So A+, A, whatever it is, he aced his test. He's done a damn good job.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. We're going to go to break. When we get back, it's mailbag time. So, Jeff, if you could drop not only the number, but have them ask their questions in the chat. And once you do that, could you please tell everybody at home about the best defense available with Guardian Alarm?
We talk about defenses. Mo Sider, you have on the defensive side of the ball, Amani Awarie for the Lions. What about Guardian Alarm for your home? That's important. They get it. Good defense on and off the field. Helps you feel secure. Not only that, Guardian Alarm has state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe, all with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control lights and temperatures, or detect smoke or carbon monoxide. It will even let you lock and unlock doors. Call 800-STAY-OUT today. You heard Fish. That's 800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm has been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe.
Get the hell out. Everything that we've hoped for, finally.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit Detroit sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Well, welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. Mailbag time. Guys, I want to start Mailbag off in a different light. We told you yesterday to tweet us or leave comments in our YouTube chat with your mock drafts. And here we go.
Pick a random one?
We're going to do a random one. This is from Rule Black, all right? His Lions mock draft, Aiden Hutchinson, number 2 overall.
Okay.
Linebacker Brian Asamoah out of Oklahoma at number 32. God damn you, Rule. He takes Malik Willis, number 34. Sky Moore, number 66 overall. And Darian Beavers, the linebacker out of Cincinnati. Jeff, what do you give it a grade? I'm going to give it a C+.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry, Rule. I'm giving you a C. I hate the quarterback pick.
Listen,
I hate it.
I will say this, Rule. You got the second overall pick, right? I like Aiden Hutchinson. I'm not really a fan of Brian Asamoah at 32. I think he'll slide farther than that. But at the same time, this is what we love. Let's keep submitting him. What quarterback did he take? I didn't hear that part. You said quarterback?
He took a quarterback, Malik Willis, 34 overall.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I might haven't. Yeah.
Well, look at what Josh Roten submitted to us. I love this draft, actually. Aiden Hutchinson, number 2 overall. Guess who he was able to draft number 32 overall?
Who?
Linebacker Devin Lloyd.
No way!
I know. I find that impossible, but still, I love the draft.
Graded on value.
Daxton Hill at 34. So now you've addressed edge, linebacker, and safety. He goes Mihai Sanders out of Cincinnati at edge. And then Jalen Tolbert, wide receiver. Love it.
Okay.
Mika McFadden, linebacker. Justin Ross out of Clemson.
Like it.
Love it. James Mitchell, tight end. Have no problem with it. Smoke Monday, a safety. And then Tariq Castro Fields.
I like it.
Corner in the last round.
I like it.
That, to me, gets an A.
Yeah.
A- at worst.
It's like he waited to address...
That's a great draft,
Waited
dude.
to address the wide receiver, but
What am I
still found
saying?
talent.
That's an A++ draft.
A+.
Josh, great job, man, dude. That is a phenomenal draft. Let's see. I got one more I want to share with everybody. This is from Big Roo. Guys, I wish you had your names instead of your usernames, but whatever. Number 8 overall. Interesting. So he traded back. He traded the number 2 overall pick for the number 8 overall pick and the number 40.
Who has 8 this year? Was that Carolina? Or I don't
believe
know.
Carolina, or it doesn't matter. The team, he got their first round pick and their second round pick, all right?
Wow.
And their third round pick. There's a lot of picks. It's going to get long. You ready? Number 8, he takes Drake London. Number 32, he takes interior lineman Devontae Wyatt out of Georgia. I don't like that.
I got a problem with the first one.
34, he takes Jermaine Johnson out of Florida State. I don't mind
Great
that at
value.
all.
Great
Luis
value.
Sign at 40. I don't think that's realistic, but damn it, that's a great pick.
Yep.
Jalen Petrie out of Baylor. I hate that pick. I don't like him as a corner. Leo Chanel out of Wisconsin. Meh. Chad Muma.
Yeah.
I don't mind that,
Muma.
but he just took back-to-back linebackers. Then he took Sky Moore.
Okay.
And then the rest of this is kind of just too much. Jalen, I can't. Jelani Woods, Hassan Haskins, Penei Sewell's brother out of Utah. No, I'm just...
I would say...
This is like a B- at best. I can't give it an A.
The only reason I'm not really a fan of it is just the reach for, I feel like, Drake London. I feel like was there no Nakobe Dean? No
I don't know.
Devin
I don't know
Lloyd?
what was on the board. He really didn't get...
I would need that answer. If there were still those guys on the board, then I would disagree completely with that first pick. But
I like Rule's mentality. It's okay. C's get degrees. Dude, that was my
Rule!
motto.
I love it.
Back in the college days, man. Let me tell you. All right, let's get to questions in the chat. Are you guys using a draft computer or just pulling the drafts out? They're using the PFF mock drafts and the draft networks. Those are the two that I've seen mostly being used.
Post them and tag us on Twitter. We'll be looking at them.
What if we trade our number 2 pick for a top 10 pick this year and then a first next year? I don't know. I mean, it depends. Again, you're losing what you control this year, right? So you can't control who you get at 10. It's who falls to you at 10. And that's a tough decision for me. I don't know about that. Sam Howell at 32, if they take a quarterback, God kill me if they take a quarterback, please. Strike me down with thunder. Is Marcus Williams a realistic or smart free agency target this year? Realistic, I'd say likely not, even though they could make it work with the salary cap. Is he a smart free agent target this year? No. No, my belief on safeties is you can draft them in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, and then they can become an all-pro, Pro Bowl safety.
Right.
That's the history of the league.
That's Marcus Williams. He was taken in the
Marcus
2nd round.
Williams. That's Tracy Walker, who the Lions may re-sign.
Yeah.
So that for me is ideal. Who would be the perfect coach for the Pistons moving forward? Ooh, Jeff, that's a good one for you.
Ooh, well, if it's not already a part of the staff, that's a tough one. Really. I mean, I love Chauncey Billups a year or two ago, but now Chauncey Billups is with the Portland Trail Blazers. So I don't have a coach off the top of my head, but I've always been a fan of Mark Jackson. I don't think that's realistic, though. But Dwayne Casey's fine right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a hard pass on Mark Jackson.
34 Bell with a 34 pick sounds nice. That's who I had at my 34th pick. I love it. David Bell. It's one of my favorite guys to come to Detroit. If there anyone particular at the Combine you'd hope performs not as great, so they fall to the Lions, that would be Nakobe Dean. I don't think there's a chance in hell he falls.
Yeah,
or test
I don't see that happening at all. Are you guys doing a March Madness bracket poll? Yes, we are. Those details will be announced hopefully in the near future, maybe the next 5 to 10 days. Let's see. What about Ridley from the Falcons as a landing spot for the Lions? Dude's got mental health issues. I don't know where his head's at. I don't know how committed he is to football. And I'm not trading for a wide receiver when I can draft one. Lions, you drafted Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round. You can get another good one in the 1st or 2nd round this year. Adam, did you get a chance to read my mock? Funky, I didn't see it. You told me it was in the chat. And I went back. In the clip yesterday, I did not see it. Let me check the live stream from yesterday. Maybe it's there.
Yeah, I was looking forward to it. I didn't see it. Funky.
I didn't see it either. So if you could post it in the clip yesterday on our YouTube channel at Woodward Sports, where we did our mock draft, if you can put that under my comment, that would be fantastic. But I did not see it, Funky. So please, if you can get it in there in the next 5 minutes, I'd love to read it off. What would it take for Adam to be nice to Fish? Nothing. I'm already nice to Fish. You guys are so dramatic. Bunch of babies. Bunch of babies. Ja Morant is not human. Not only is he not human.
He's not human, dude.
Is he MVP, man?
He's making a case.
I mean, he's got to be in the conversation at least.
Definitely, yeah.
We talk about Embiid, Giannis, Nikola Jokic.
He passes my guidelines. He's top 3 in the West, so he's got the record.
Dude, he's got the record.
He's got the performances.
You take him off that team, they're a lottery team.
Yep.
Ja Morant is playing at an unbelievable level. He's doing stuff we haven't seen since who? I don't know. Derrick Rose?
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah.
Unbelievable. Did you guys watch the Inside the Den yesterday?
I'm about to after this.
Jeff said he's about to. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I probably
later
will
on.
later.
I'll check it out.
We'll see how the day goes. Has Lambeer's chances of coaching in the NBA passed? Yeah, like way long ago. After his run in the WNBA, like that should have been his ticket in, but never did it. I don't think it's ever going to happen.
Yeah.
I'd love to trade back to Snag Dean, but nobody will trade up. Why? That is the talk of this draft, and that is the biggest talking point. Is I don't believe and nobody believes anybody's trading up to 1, 2, 3, or 4. You could see somebody trading up to 8, 9, or 10, 11, maybe 12. Yeah, that makes sense. But no one's trading into the top 3, top 5. I just don't see that happening at all. Russell Westbrook in his prime, that's to troll Adam. I hate you. Mr. Sammy, Ja Morant is the future of the league. Absolutely, Nate. He really is. I mean, he's doing things we haven't seen really since Derrick Rose. I mean, it's unbelievable how dynamic, explosive he is. I think explosive is the only word to describe Ja Morant. I mean, he's a highlight machine.
Yeah.
I wish we would have went after him when he was in Detroit with the WNBA. Yeah, that was his time to make a move, but he never did it. It's not there. I see it on the video. I'm going to try and check one more time. Is it under my comment? Where is it? Because I don't see it. I'm going to look. Jeff, if you want to take a question in the chat while I look. I don't see it, Funky.
So we got here. What other questions? Billups for Killian. Yeah, good comparison. That would help Killian out a whole lot. Not true. The Memphis, they're 11-2 without him this season. He did miss some games. You are correct. But big part of the reason why they're winning. That's the point we're trying to prove. There was too much parity to trade capital for talent this year. Yes, absolutely. That's why trade out scenarios I just don't believe are true. I'm staying put at number 2. I don't think you'll be able to move back as much as I would love to. It's just not realistic right now. Tomorrow my official mock gets posted. Yeah, please guys, post your
I'm excited,
mock
Samuel.
drafts.
I'm excited. Guys, you keep posting them. Tag me and Jeff on Twitter, social media. Leave them in the YouTube comment sections. Make sure you tag us, obviously. Tag Woodward Sports along. We're going to keep doing this. I'm really interested to see other people's opinions, perspectives on what the Lions should do in the mock drafts. But guys, that's it for today's show. I can't thank you enough. You guys were so fantastic. Make sure you leave a like in the YouTube thread. Make sure you're subscribed if you aren't already. before you go. We will see you tomorrow. It's Wednesday, hump day. Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you guys all tomorrow. Take care.